6:30 in the morning. Sure. Oof. Let's see.
What up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out more South Park today, and this is Grounded Vindaloop.
Anthony picked the episode.
I don't
I picked
remember
it
this
because it is very highly
one.
rated. I think it's sitting at over a 9 in terms of IMDb ratings, and the only thing I know about it is that I think it has something to do with the Oculus Rift.
We have a VR headset, and we have barely used it. I don't honestly know why we bought it.
Same.
I'm not going to lie, I don't think we even opened it.
We did use Anthony's nephew's once, and
Well,
like
that's the reason I bought it.
yeah, and it was like fun, and he was like playing a zombie game, and I like tried it on, and I was like, and then I died, but it was fun, and then we were like, ooh, this sounds like so much fun to like play
funny.
all the time,
I've
and then
just
we
been sitting
bought
with
it,
it.
did not play it.
I think the first
I
time that
used mine
VR headsets
quite a bit
came
when I
about
first
really
got it.
were about 10 years or so ago, which is actually when this episode came out. And that's around the first time I ever tried a VR headset. First time I ever tried it, honestly, I got super nauseous. Like, I could not have it on for more than like 5 minutes. I did it at like, I used to work at AT&T, and they were bringing in all this different tech, and I tried it on, and it was fun, but yeah, like I said, I got sick. But tried it again
God
years
damn
later
it.
with my nephew, and I ended up buying it, and I need to use it again.
If y'all have any recommendations for games that are really good on the VR headset, let us know.
And if you want to be ahead of our YouTube posting schedule
Phasmophobia.
or have access to our full-length reactions of South Park,
Why
we take
is
a copy
it
of your
on
episode
this
and sync it up with us and watch from
screen
beginning to
now
end with no
instead of
cuts. You can do
the
so by checking out our
actual one I need
Patreon,
it
and the
to
link
be
is
on?
down below.
I'm so confused.
It's all so real.
That's like held together with duct tape.
Oh, like it's like a
I
fake
don't-
one?
Oh, wow. If I hold up my hands, I can see them too.
It's just like real life and goggles.
I feel Stan. He looks totally real.
What?
That's awesome, Butters.
Oh, Cartman! Of course.
I think I'm done, Eric. I'm feeling kind of dizzy and...
Tuh.
That was me.
What did I tell you about removing the headset when you're
I
not back
don't
in the
remember
access hub?
watching this
Oh, yeah,
one.
then it would spin
Access
my
hub?
and scramble my brains. I forgot.
Poor Butters.
You also forget that if you die in virtual reality, you die in real life, Butters?
It's like Inception or something.
We only have 8 minutes before the battery protocols die, Butters. You have to hurry.
Poor Butters is so gullible.
Stefanacy window dropped.
What? You know, this was a pretty
Okay.
mild prank for Cartman, though.
That was cool. How do you feel? Do you feel okay? I touched Andy's boob. And then he took off the shop goggles, and he was all like, whoa, I'm back.
I mean, compared to the last episode we watched with his prank, yeah, this is very tame.
This is the cure de garce of Butters' torture. Coup de grace, Cartman.
Here to guard.
I didn't even know what he was trying to say.
3, 2, 1, mark.
He just hides in the closet.
It's just the normal world. Poor Butters.
Going now.
Oh, he's doing chores?
Is he doing Cartman's chores?
You're doing great.
Oh my gosh.
Just make sure you've cleared the driveway and walkway of all the virtual snow.
Virtual snow?
The snow looks kind of fake, though.
I bet
That's
there's some
funny.
sort of game that's like shoveling snow in real life.
I mean-
Mundane games.
There's an old fat lady here. She's holding out money for me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I got it. You got the money? Okay, great, Butters. Now get back to the access point. Are you heading back, Butters?
What's going on?
All right, Butters, you should get back to the access point now. You're going off grid. I'm sorry, Eric, but there's just one thing I gotta do real quick.
What?
It's me, Butters.
I know that. What do you...
That's for all the times I got grounded.
He thinks it's fake.
That was incredible. Butters, get back to the access
Well,
point.
Butters might not have another sibling.
I'm back outside now. I'm a bad man.
Oh
Got new stupid cars.
no. He's going Professor Chaos.
In VR.
Stop. Get back to my place.
You gave him power.
I'm gonna take his
Whoa.
car. This is like Grand Theft Auto. Butters, where are you now? I'm in the
Funny.
back part of town. I just hit a lamppost.
Hit a lamppost.
A prostitute out here. Okay, Butters, let's call it good, okay?
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna beat her up and take her money.
Grand Theft Auto.
Motherfucker! I'm taking your money. Oh, she's still crosses are destabilizing. I can't breathe too good, Eric.
Oh my gosh.
Did he really get stabbed?
I think I overdid it. I gotta take this thing off. Ah! Butters?
Oh my goodness. What's going on?
Didn't think a knife could really hurt me. I thought I was just in a virtual reality.
No, you actually got stabbed by a hooker.
I mean, you're trying to rob her.
Wonder how long I'm grounded for. Butters.
He's trying to be Morpheus.
Like the Matrix?
I don't think I've
It's going to be hard
ever
to
seen
understand,
this
Give him the
one.
red pill.
You've become
Wow.
trapped in the simulation. None of this.
Oh my goodness.
Nuh-uh. We're actually both at my house right now. You're wearing the headset and I'm talking to you as a computer program.
Wow.
You're gonna fuck with
That's
his head
funny.
so bad.
That's so trick.
You see, in this world, things aren't what they seem.
He screamed.
You can't trust anyone in this reality. Say nothing to no one about the Oculus
Wow.
Rift. If you think they know, they will kill you.
This is reminding me of Total Recall too.
Know that the nurse is about to walk through that door.
No, you press the button. Oh my gosh.
Total generic magic tricks.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hello, Eric. My name is Steve from Oculus Customer Service.
Oh, what?
Our virtual headsets.
What are you up to?
And on behalf of the company, I would like to apologize and try to help.
Oh.
There's been a malfunction with the headset you ordered from us. Right now, you're
Does
actually
he
in
have
your
it?
room at your computer wearing an Oculus
Can't believe
headset,
I haven't
but
seen
in
this
a
one
coma-like
before.
trance, my friend.
What? He is? Is he really?
But you have simply been in the virtual world so long, you have forgotten.
You should probably listen to him, dude.
I mean, we're kind of fucking with Butters a second ago, so I have no idea.
People you are talking to are just computer programs, my
You're
friend.
up
This is
late or early.
What's
I'm
real?
up
What's
early.
fake?
Eric, Hoopsikins. Eric?
Is he really? Oh, shit! Guy.
You are not to leave this room, and you are not allowed to use the phone or computer.
But this is all still within his fake world.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Butters, I'm seriously. Are you fucking with me?
Well, that's good.
I don't know what
He's
you
the
mean
one who
because
got
if you are,
played.
it's not true. Eric, you said you were going to get me out of this virtual world. Butters, I talked to Oculus customer service, and they said I'm the one who's wearing a headset and has forgotten he's in virtual reality. If I'm the one trapped in virtual reality, that means you're nothing but a computer program. Oh, God.
Oh no!
Now you better stop messing around, Butters, so I
Life
can help you
is
out of this.
awful.
Because you know how I said if you die in virtual reality, you die in real life? Yeah. Well, if you get grounded in virtual reality, you get grounded in real life, too. There's something supernatural going on. I asked my dad why I was being grounded, and he said that for asking him that I was more grounded.
Just stream yourself
Butters, I'm
coloring.
kinda super
Get like
busy
a
right now.
top camera.
Playing tetherball.
Who is that?
6, yeah.
Oh!
I would have
Oh my
been like
God.
7.
Okay, this is real life.
You found Cartman like this, and you think he's somehow trapped in virtual reality?
So that was the real Butters calling them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so trippy.
I need to advise you that this call may be recorded to help with
Oh,
better
I've
customer
never
service
seen
in the
this.
future.
I thought
Is that
I've seen
agreeable
like
to you?
every
I
software.
don't care.
He doesn't care. I can continue. That is why we are trying to locate all the headsets and do a recall. Do you understand? It is a total recall.
Total Recall!
Fuck you.
I love that movie.
Shit.
Fuck you what? He says they're doing a total recall. Oh, fuck you.
And that I accurately and politely respond to your concerns.
We need help. Our friend is in a coma.
They have to read the script.
It looks like one of you is going to have to put on the Oculus headset and go into the virtual world and convince your
What?
friend to get to an access
Can
point.
you not just take it off of him? So that means Butters was getting grounded in real life because of what's happening to virtual Butters, maybe?
I have no fucking idea how that even works, to be honest.
Customer service said that one of us
Oh,
needed to
God.
put on the headset and come get you, and that's why I'm here. I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. And why did the guy send you, Cal? This is going to be extremely hard to believe,
What's
but
he gonna say?
you are the one that's been in a coma with a VR headset.
Oh my gosh!
I know it's hard to grasp, Kyle, but I was the one sent by customer service to try and convince you that none of
Oh
what
my
you've seen
God.
is real.
I don't
If
know.
we see him, if we see Kyle with a freaking Oculus
7-string
on him,
guitar,
Arch rival.
acoustic
Why would
electric,
the
I
guy
guess.
send you
I
in
don't
to
know.
convince me of anything? Fuck you! Why would they send you in to convince me of anything? Fuck!
Nobody knows anything.
Can you tell me if I purchased an Oculus Rift headset there? Or if I did? Or if you sold one to an Eric Cartman?
Sir, I'm gonna have to connect you to customer service. Hang on a sec.
The call center. Coming in clutch.
Best Buy customer service, this is Steve. This call may be recorded to ensure good customer service in the future.
Or is the call center in the VR too?
Well, this looks like a lovely meal. Too bad Butters won't be enjoying it.
Oh no, I don't need another Switch.
Y'all fucking suck as parents.
You're grounded. You can just go to bed hungry.
Your meal looks bad.
Do you remember why Butters
It's
is grounded?
I don't know, Stephen. I let you handle all the groundings.
but there's like
I
a
don't know.
specific
I don't
guitar that I
recall
was
they're
looking
colliding
at,
anything
so if they don't get
particularly
that
bad,
one,
and
like I
yet
would
he is
want
grounded.
another one.
No,
if that
listen,
makes
I called
sense.
customer service because
I
I
can
need
just buy it
help.
myself.
So
at some
Kenny's in
point.
there?
Wait, Stan?
Wait.
Hold on.
What? My fucking head's gonna start to hurt.
I know this might be hard for you to grasp right now.
Yeah.
Oh
This is all
no.
actually real. No, after we found Carmen,
What?
I put the headset on and then... dude, we've all been here the entire time.
Wait, what?
No, you guys, this is virtual reality. How do you know? Because I'm a computer
on.
program.
What?
What? So where's the Cartman in the headset?
I am a computer program.
I will.
I'm not real.
Gosh,
He's lying.
I don't believe it.
I'm not lying.
You lie all the time.
What was the name of the person who first called you for customer service?
Oh, yes. That I can answer. His name was Butters.
Butters.
Called customer service?
Hello?
They
My
just left.
friend?
Oh.
My friend, I believe we're having some technical issues
Shut
with
up,
our
not
phone
Bob.
line. Please hang on. I'm going to call customer service.
What?
Wait, what?
Customer service, this is Steve.
Oh my god!
Oh shit! Oh shit! Get out!
Wait, what? Is it a different universe?
Listen, my friend. This is going to be very
Wait, I
hard
think
to
there's an extra
comprehend,
clock.
But none of
They're
what
two
you are
different
seeing
ones.
is real.
There's less clocks.
A customer who is in virtual reality called customer service, and it has created a customer feedback loop.
Ah!
Here in India, we call it a customer feedback Vindaloo.
Is it?
Oh,
Vindaloo.
Isn't Vindaloo a dish, like a food? Chicken Vindaloo?
Have I provided answers to your questions in a courteous and
Vindaloo
fashion?
was a
What do you
song.
mean? Have you answered all my questions?
Or is that
If I
Cantaloupe?
didn't answer your questions, then we have given
Cantaloupe.
bad customer service.
But you didn't answer any of my questions.
Oh my gosh!
I'm troubled in
Oh, Butters.
Can you give us answers to our questions?
Let me
When
find
did you
it.
call Oculus Rift customer service? When we were playing with the Oculus headset. Don't you guys remember? We were all messing around with it.
You all did?
I forgot I was
Wait.
in virtual reality and I got grounded.
But
and
that
now
was the
I'm
fake
grounded
one.
In real life.
No, but that was different.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
I have accepted the reality
Oh.
that
Oh,
I'm a
yeah?
computer program. The fact is that one of us
I've
is in a
seen
room
some weird
wearing a
shit
VR
about
headset
that. I
seeing
think I'm
all
gonna
this,
skip out on that
and it's
one.
not me.
Turns out there are 3 things you cannot do in virtual reality. You cannot die, you cannot get grounded, and you cannot call customer service.
Metaphor.
This is why you're having problems.
What?
And how much of what has happened was in virtual reality?
Oh my
That
gosh.
does not matter. There is only one thing that matters.
What?
Have I answered your question?
Sense.
That's the
Yeah, I
point.
did too.
Please, my friend, please.
There's
Like,
been
you
some.
say yes?
The call may be recorded.
Darkest likes it.
Oh my gosh!
You've
There's
answered
too
all my
much
questions
going
and I'm
on.
pleased with the customer service I've been provided.
Chaotic. Oh, he disappeared.
You just
Who's
had
real?
to answer the customer
Oh
service
my gosh.
question. So it was
Okay.
him?
Yeah.
You remember now? Yeah, I remember. I'm heading back to the access point.
He was the one with the
So
headset.
when Cartman was talking to him, remember?
I don't know why or how, but it's over.
They did it.
Yeah,
They
that's
figured
true.
it out.
He doesn't like
Here, dude, just a little further. We can finally end
he
this.
doesn't
Okay,
like
I'm back in Cartman's room.
Persona though.
Was he just doing this by himself at the beginning anyway? Nothing else was real?
So aside from all the what do you think of the Oculus?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
I remember
But
this.
the graphics suck.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
I'm not grounded anymore.
Honestly,
Why is
this
something
might have
opening?
been one of my favorite episodes
That
we've ever
was
watched.
so much fun.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
funny.
that.
I love
I
being
remember
so
that episode
confused
now.
and like because it kind of started off just like very suddenly with
Yeah.
Butters walking through the school with the rift, and I was just okay. This is obviously fake
Right,
because
it's
it's
just
it's
a
got
prank.
duct tape and it says
Yeah.
Oculus with a
Open up.
Sharpie right there.
And then it just kept, like, the layers kept going, and you're like, oh, wait, that part was real, and then it's not, and then this, and then you, like, lost track of everything, and in reality,
I remember them
all
being
of it
real.
wasn't,
Yeah.
because it's like, whoop, take it off, and it's like they're real kids, and
Yeah.
that was, like, a fun little bit there. I also really liked the references to, like, The Matrix, and then also Total Recall.
Yeah.
I never know if it's, like, recall or
I say
recall.
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 I mean, you can say whatever you
Total
want. but
Recall,
whatever.
Recall. But that was a really good movie, and you can watch
Yeah.
my reaction to that. But yeah, that was like really fun too. That was like very mind trippy as well.
That's funny. My back hurts like a motherfucker. There you go. That is the set. Yeah, that's the 7-string. Do they have like 7-string strings? I've literally never had a 7-string guitar set or guitars. I don't know. I guess they do, huh? Interesting. Yeah. It's a guitar. Yeah, my most expensive guitar that I had was like, it's my white one. I don't know how much was that. That one was like 700 or 800. I've never had one over 1,000. Darwin Awards one day ago when bad choices go very wrong.
In 1997, Wayne Roth from Pennsylvania thought he could handle a cobra bite. Visiting a friend who owned the deadly snake, Wayne reached into the tank, got bitten, and refused to seek medical help. "I'm a man, I can handle it," he insisted.
That would be me.
And instead, they went to a pub where Wayne drank, bragging about the bite. But cobra venom isn't something you just handle. Within an hour, the venom took its toll, and Wayne collapsed, dead from his own reckless confidence. In this video, we explore 5 cases of how far people will go to receive a Darwin Award. Let me tell you about a young racer named Kevin Ward Jr., who had all the skill, confidence, and passion in the world. He wasn't the guy who'd back down from a challenge, and he was known for his fierce competitiveness. Kevin was just 20 years old, already making a name for himself on dirt tracks across New York. On the night of August 9th, 2014, Kevin showed up at Canandaigua Motorsports Park with his sights set on winning.
He died by getting run over.
But unfortunately, that night would turn out to be anything but a victory. In the middle of the race, Kevin's car was bumped by none other than Tony Stewart, a NASCAR legend who had joined the race for some off-season fun. That nudge was all it took to send Kevin spinning straight into the wall. Furious, Kevin climbed out of his car, not stopping to think twice about where he was. All he saw was Tony's car circling the track, and all he wanted was to give him a piece of his mind.
He is gonna get run over.
In Kevin's eyes, this was personal, so he decided to confront Tony right there on the track, on foot. Now, this wasn't your average road. This was a racetrack where cars were zipping around at speeds of over 100 miles per hour, even under a caution flag. Dirt tracks are tricky. The vehicles don't handle like they do on asphalt. Kevin's black racing suit made him nearly invisible in the low lights, and the dirt track offered poor visibility as the dust kicked up with every turn. Still, Kevin didn't hesitate. He stormed down onto the track, waving his arms and pointing at the oncoming cars, especially Tony's. Tony's car came around the bend, following a line behind another vehicle. The driver in front of Tony swerved to avoid Kevin at the last second. Tony, not expecting a person on the track, attempted to dodge him as well. But in that split second, as Tony tried to veer off, his car fishtailed. The back end slid out, and that's when Kevin's luck ran out. In a tragic turn, Tony's car hit Kevin, sending him flying down the track. The crowd gasped. In one instant, the excitement of the race was replaced by pure horror. Some spectators tried to look away, but the shock kept their eyes glued to the scene. Kevin lay still. The race was over. and Kevin Ward Jr. had just paid the ultimate price for a moment of fury and frustration.
He fucked up.
The aftermath
Real
was a
bad.
storm of opinions and blame. Some argued that Tony could have done more to avoid Kevin, while others pointed out that Kevin's choice to walk onto the track was
Yeah,
reckless.
that was
Authorities
Kevin's
investigated,
choice.
and Tony wasn't charged with any crime. Kevin's
Reaction.
family was left heartbroken, wondering what might have been if Kevin hadn't stepped out of his car that night. And just like Kevin's story, sometimes a thrill can turn tragic when a risky decision goes horribly wrong. But this time involving a young man named Eric Barcia, who decided to take on a bungee jump with nothing but DIY spirit and a handful of bungee cords.
You gotta love it.
It was July 12th,
You go to, like,
1997, in
Walmart and
Reston,
hook up a
Virginia.
bunch of
Eric,
cords
just
together.
22 years old, was looking for a thrill. Bungee jumping was gaining popularity, and like many people, he wanted to experience the adrenaline rush of free falling and snapping back just before hitting the ground. The problem was, Eric didn't have access to a professional bungee jump site, but that wasn't going to stop him. So Eric, a fast food worker with limited resources, got creative.
You know?
Instead of using a real bungee cord, Eric gathered several small bungee cords, the kind with hooks on each end that people use to hold their trunks shut or strap items to a bike.
That's what
He
I thought.
carefully connected them, probably with a bit of duct tape to reinforce his equipment.
How
With his
could it
bungee
go
cords
wrong?
all tied
How
together,
could anyone
he
go
drove to
wrong?
Lake Accotink Park, a large wooded area in Fairfax County, known for its peaceful trails, scenic lake, and a tall railroad bridge that stretched over 70 feet above the ground. This bridge would be his jumping point.
Yeah.
Eric climbed up to the top of the bridge, secured one end of his makeshift bungee cord around his ankle, and hooked the other end to the bridge railing. Now, to him, everything seemed in place. Maybe he'd even measured the distance down to the ground, feeling confident that his bungee cord wouldn't let him down. But there was one crucial thing Eric had overlooked. Bungee cords, especially the small ones meant for luggage, stretch a lot. And the cords he'd patched together were already dangerously close in length to the distance between the bridge and the pavement below. It's hard to say what went through Eric's mind in those final seconds.
So he
Maybe
like
felt
put
a
together
twinge of doubt or
70
a rush
feet
of
of
excitement.
bungee cords,
But
and
without
didn't
any
realize they'd
hesitation, he took the
stretch?
leap, diving off the side of the bridge, trusting his homemade setup. Within seconds, he was falling fast. But unlike a real bungee jump, there was no springy recoil to catch him. Instead, the cord stretched far beyond what he expected, leaving him with nothing to stop his descent.
Yeah, well,
Eric hit the pavement below, his life ending in that one tragic jump.
there it is.
Hours later, a
Pavement,
man
not
walking
even
through
over
the park in the
water.
early morning came across
Imagine
Eric's
that.
body, still attached to the long stretch of bungee cords hanging from the bridge above. The sight was enough to send shivers down his spine as he quickly called the police to report the tragic scene. When officers arrived, they could hardly believe it. Eric's makeshift bungee setup was still tied to the bridge. News of Eric's accident spread quickly, leaving everyone who heard it shaking their heads.
I started building
People
a
around
hang
the park
glider.
that day couldn't believe someone would use regular bungee cords for such a dangerous jump. One man, a mechanical
probably killed
engineer,
myself
tried to
on that
imagine
hang
what was
glider.
going through Eric's mind.
Worth it.
It's hard to picture a scenario where this wouldn't have gone wrong, he said. Even Eric's grandmother, Lucille Kalinsky, was in shock. She remembered him as a smart kid who did well in school and was responsible at work. She could hardly believe he'd attempted something so risky, and she was devastated by the loss. And while Eric's story is one of youthful daring gone wrong, our next story follows a man whose own stubborn thrill-seeking on the snowy mountains of Alaska took things to an entirely different level. Meet Walter, a 43-year-old from Fairbanks, Alaska, who was no stranger to snow, speed, and the sound of a roaring snowmobile engine. Walter was the kind of guy who liked his adventures a little wilder and louder than most. That's how he found himself at the Arctic Man Ski and Snow Go Classic, a yearly event in Alaska where people gather to race on skis and snow machines through ice and snow.
Never been skiing.
The main event may be the race, but for guys like Walter, there was another side activity called high marking. Now, if you've never heard of high marking, here's how it works. You rev up a snowmobile and aim it as far up a steep mountain slope as it'll go before it gets stuck. Right before it stalls out, you're supposed to turn around and glide back down. The higher you reach, the better you look to your friends who are all watching below, cheering you on. It's a bit like
Died
saying,
by an
look how brave I
avalanche."
am, only on a big snowy hill where avalanches are a real danger.
Ooh,
This was
called it.
exactly what Walter had in mind when he took his snowmobile up the slopes at Summit Lake. The weather was warm and the snow was already unstable, so much so that several avalanches had already been reported in the area. In fact, earlier in the day, Walter himself had triggered a small avalanche that buried him up to his waist. State troopers came out to dig him free and warned him not to go back up there. They even suggested he carry an avalanche beacon in case he got caught again. But Walter wasn't about to let a little snow or a serious warning stop his fun. So Walter brushed off the advice, hopped back onto his snowmobile, and kept high marking. Every time he climbed up the steep mountainside, he sent shivers through the snowpack, making it even more unstable with each pass. Eventually, with one more powerful rev of the engine, Walter triggered the mountain's final response. This time, the avalanche that came roaring down was no small slide. It was a massive slab of snow, loosened by the day's warm weather and Walter's constant runs. Before he could turn around, the wall of snow overtook him, swallowing him and his snowmobile in seconds. When rescuers arrived, they had a big challenge on their hands. An avalanche expert and 2 rescue dogs, Chili and Bean, were brought in to help find him. After hours of searching, the dogs finally sniffed him out, buried under 4 feet of dense, packed snow. An avalanche isn't something you can outrun, outsmart, or outmaneuver, even with the loudest snowmobile or the best high-marking skills. But in Walter's case, he wasn't thinking about danger. He was thinking about the thrill and the next high mark he could reach on that mountain. Walter's story may seem hard to believe, but it just goes to show how easily a thrill can turn tragic, especially when warnings are ignored and nature's power is underestimated. And yet, some people can't resist chasing that thrill, even if it means going to extreme lengths. Take Robert Overacker, for example, a man who was determined to make a statement so bold that no one could ignore it. Robert was born in sunny California, where he developed a love for stunts and the adrenaline that came with them. He was never one to settle for an ordinary life. He wanted to do something extraordinary, but Robert's passion for adventure went beyond personal glory. He had a cause close to his heart, raising awareness about homelessness. He'd seen the struggles of the homeless firsthand in his California community, and he felt that their plight was often overlooked. He wanted people to pay attention, to truly see the problem. And he came up with an idea that he believed would capture the world's attention. Something so daring, so intense, that no one could look away. After years of planning, Robert's mission led him to one of the most dangerous natural wonders in North America, Niagara Falls. His plan,
tried to go over
ride
it
a
with
jet
the
ski
barrel.
over the massive Horseshoe Falls and deploy a parachute to glide safely to the water below. He knew this stunt would be risky,
Don't do that.
but he believed the message was worth it. The roar of the falls, the sheer power of millions of gallons of water pouring down every second. He thought it would be the perfect symbol of his cause. If he could survive that drop, people might listen to what he had to say. On October 1st, 1995, Robert arrived at Niagara Falls, fully prepared to carry out his plan. With Save the Homeless painted on his jet ski, he was ready to take on the immense challenge. As the crowds gathered, curiosity and excitement filled the air. People watched with bated breath as Robert approached the edge of the falls. His heart must have been racing as he reviewed every step of the plan in his mind, double-checking his parachute, making sure everything was in place. But as Robert hit the edge and went over, disaster struck. He released his hands from the jet ski, raising them high in a show of defiance and determination. It should have been his moment of triumph. But when he went to activate his parachute, he realized, in that horrifying instant, that it hadn't been attached properly. Instead of catching him, the parachute fell uselessly into the water, leaving Robert to plunge straight down.
Well, that's why I stream a lot. It's not. Hasn't been for about 5 years, so. Yeah, well, you're in pretty good company. 3 a.m. Yeah, it's 5 here, so. Yep. My sister's hanging around too somewhere. Caladrius. Oh, I don't have that up there. I never fixed that. Did I not really? No, I don't think I did. Oh. Huh. I thought I fixed that completely. I must not have. Well, damn. No, I think that's that is the ship has sailed. Divorce and everything. Long time ago. Long marriage. I'm actually kind of reached the peak of where I wanted to be job-wise in life. I just got a very good job, but it doesn't really matter. So you think it I don't know. It's not been lately. It's kind of here until I'm not, and that's like a really shitty thing to say, but it just kind of is. That's why I stream like 1,000,000 hours to not be alone with my thoughts, even if nobody watches and nobody does. But you know, just kind of here until you're not. It's kind of shitty, and it's not like trying to like trauma dump or anything on people. I don't want that at all. If anything, like people need to not feel like this. But yeah.
Down with no way to slow his fall. The tourists watching from the shore held their breath as Robert disappeared into the thunderous water below. For a moment, people hoped that maybe, somehow, he'd survived. The water swirled
We're all
and
in good company,
and for an instant, it even looked as though he might be swimming. But the grim reality soon became
been 5
clear.
years.
Robert had not survived.
It's only
the
gotten
impact.
worse. So.
The force of the fall was too great, and the fierce rapids only added to the tragic outcome. His friends and family were left heartbroken.
Yeah.
They had tried to warn him, tried to convince him to abandon the stunt, but Robert's dedication to his cause was unshakable. And though his plan didn't go as he'd hoped, his message was heard in the aftermath. People remembered Robert not just for the stunt itself, but for his heart and his passion for making a difference. Today, Robert's jet ski sits on display at the Daredevil Museum near Niagara Falls,
happened to
a solemn reminder of his courage and his tragic end. It's strange to think how many kinds of adventure can take a dangerous turn, especially when you're up in the air, where things can go wrong in an instant. Just ask Craig Christensen, a man from Utah who discovered firsthand how paragliding can lead to a fate you'd never expect.
He got caught in a...
Craig was a thrill seeker from Riverton, Utah. He loved the idea of gliding through the air, feeling the wind in his face and floating above the landscape below. Paragliding, as many know, is a sport that lets you do just that. With just a wing-like parachute and some training, you can take off from a hill or mountainside and soar, using the wind to carry you across.
I recently got offered, well, I am, I guess now, a position of being the planetarium director for the largest planetarium in Texas, and that's kind of like where I would have wished to be at this point, even though I haven't had a job for 3 years, and I finally got like a really good one. But there's nobody to like share it with like I was, so it's incredibly, incredibly hollow and bittersweet. So that kind of sucks shit. But like, yay, I reached my goal, I guess. I don't know. Astrophysics stuff.
The sky. Paragliders look a bit like parachutists, except they ride thermal currents for long, peaceful flights. It's exciting, but not exactly fast-paced, so it's popular among those who enjoy a more laid-back form of adventure. On July 16th, 1999, Craig set out to enjoy one of these serene glides near Lehi, Utah. He launched himself, parachute in tow, into the skies around Utah County, a place known for its wide open spaces and beautiful canyons. But as Craig was floating above the landscape, he found himself drifting over the Murdoch Canal. The canal, a major waterway, winds through the area and carries a steady, swift flow of water under the hot Utah sun. Built for irrigation, the canal stretches under freeways and past fields, moving water along at a steady rate.
Yeah.
While it might seem peaceful at first glance,
I
that
stream
water
all the
is much
time
stronger than
really
it looks.
random times.
At some point in Craig's
Good luck
flight,
on your
a sudden gust pulled him
dish-washing
downward
journey.
toward the canal, and his paraglider acted more like a sail than a glider. Before he knew it, Craig was in the water. Now, in a sport like paragliding, you don't usually plan for a water landing. Most people don't think drowning is a risk when they're up in the sky. But as soon as Craig hit the canal, his parachute filled with water, turning his glider into a heavy, water-soaked anchor. Trapped in his harness, he struggled to free himself, but the current had already taken hold. As Craig fought against the weight, the canal's current pulled him toward a siphon, a powerful drain under the I-15 freeway that sucked water and anything caught in it downstream. Within moments, Craig was pulled underwater, dragged along by the canal's force. The siphon carried him about 400 feet under the freeway, where his parachute caught against a grate, pinning him there, unable to escape. It wasn't until later that his body was found by a Provo Water Users Association employee who discovered him caught in the grate. For a sport meant to be free and open, Craig's final flight was anything but. His story remains a somber reminder that even the calmest, thrill-seeking adventures can hold unexpected dangers, especially when forces of nature, whether water or wind, get involved.
If you've been on the internet in the past 5 years, you'll know the name Belle Delphine. As the
I know her.
Antics of selling gamer girl bathwater, supposedly getting arrested, and graphic videos propelled her to notoriety. Despite all the success,
Selling
though,
her
I
bathwater.
haven't seen anyone truly go through the woman's history to discover what is the real story behind her enigmatic.
I did want to watch this.
With
Why
me
not?
wondering if there's a mystery
I ain't got nothing
man
better to
behind
do.
the whole performance pulling the strings.
You still there,
after over
Caladrius?
100 hours of research, I'll do my best to break down the true story of Miss Delphine, with the truth actually being quite surprising. But before we get to that, let's go back to the beginning of the story. Mary Belle Kushner, Belle Delphine's birth name, was born in Cape Town, South Africa on October 23, 1999. For the first 11 years of her life, Belle lived in the turbulent country. Theft, stolen cars, and home invasions were all common occurrences where they lived. That being said, Belle claims that with her child eyes, everything about South Africa seemed idealistic, with beautiful gardens and beaches. While she reminisces positively about the stunning natural features, the same cannot be said for her home situation. Her parents had met on a photo shoot where her mother, who was originally from the UK, had flown to South Africa to model. They quickly fell into a turbulent relationship that resulted in a surprise pregnancy. The couple was put under pressure due to the fact that Belle's mother's visa was expiring. In a desperate attempt to do the noble thing, they married so that the two could stay together and try to make it work for their unborn child. Young Belle grew up feeling like she was walking on eggshells around her father. She recounts that he would constantly make fun of her for her interests, and would refuse to hold her school bag because it was pink.
She had daddy issues?
Huge asshole. And he was always very, you know, no jokes, so serious.
Their relationship was really rough. They fought like a lot, and I think growing up around like, I don't know, violence a lot was really, I don't know, it's kind of strange.
As these fights became more and more violent, eventually the young mother took her daughter back to the UK, divorcing shortly thereafter. There, 11-year-old Belle would begin to see more of her mom's side of the family, who were very conservative and religious. Her mother was considered to be the rebellious child, and felt the need to parent as the cool mom. For Belle, this meant that her caretaker never asked where she was going, and the young girl could disappear for days on end. Things got so extreme that at 13, Belle took a train to London, where she met up with a 25-year-old man from the internet and spent the day with him. Although Belle claims that nothing inappropriate happened between the two, this meet could have ended too.
And then you grow up as an adult and you're like, my mom didn't care.
With no adult guidance, she turned to the internet as a source of nurturing, having claimed several times that YouTube raised her. Belle would spend 13 hours a day scouring the web, shaping her identity through self-proclaimed edgelords such as iDubbbz and Filthy Frank.
It's about that time!
These YouTubers developed Belle's sense of humor, and at the same time, she was also drawn to anime, another staple of online culture. She would join online message boards and eventually
I need
met
to
up with
watch
individuals
Arcane.
in
I
real
haven't
life.
watched
The
it
thing
yet.
is,
I know it's
these
gonna make me
online
want to
chat
play
rooms
League of
were not
Legends,
full
and I'm
of other
fucking dog shit at League of
13-year-olds,
Legends.
but rather
so-
older men. Belle and her friends would hang out with these 30-year-olds, flattered by the attention. This sort of behavior resulted in her cheating on her first boyfriend by kissing a man in his 30s at a concert.
But in the UK, it was a really big thing for like 25-year-olds to be dating 14-year-olds. So like all my friends in like this type of community, yeah, it really was.
Perhaps because
Wait,
she was
what?
drawn to older people from a young
It's
age,
normally
Belle
like
has admitted
a-
to not having many school
big
friends
thing, right?
because she was a quote-unquote weirdo and had a thick South African accent. The small English town was not very receptive towards her, but that didn't stop Belle from trying to fit in and impress her peers. She would purposefully fall off playground swings, injuring herself to make the kids laugh. Further, the boys at
I did
school
that.
liked Belle at first. However, this all changed when they realized she had obsessive tendencies. This was displayed in the form of her giving out strange gifts such as helicopters and large teddy bears.
Okay, you sound like you're putting an effort for these boys. You used to be the same.
Yeah, I totally used to be the same.
Despite her attempts to interact with her peers, the online community truly understood her best. She used it as an escape from her mother, whose drinking problem persisted in the UK. The effects of this issue played into Belle's choice to abstain from alcohol when her older boyfriends offered it. This was for the best and may have helped Belle stay out of even more trouble. But before we go any further in today's video, I think it should be pointed
That's why I
out
don't
that
smoke,
people like
'cause
Miss
my
Delphine
parents
or
smoke.
even myself deal
Or
with
smoke,
a lot of
I
threats
guess,
involving doxing
currently.
and swatting, which is why today's sponsor is Delete Me. Whether you're someone with millions of subscribers or just an average internet user, your identity is important. And you may not know, but there are a lot of websites out there with your personal information, including your full name, phone number, and real-life address. So the concept behind Delete Me is pretty simple. You provide them your personal information. They will scrub the internet to find websites with that information, and then they will demand those websites to take it all down. I have used this service myself, and they have
We're fine.
successfully deleted my information off of dozens of websites.
Everyone's good,
Delete Me will
I
remove
guess.
your data
Like-
and help you protect yourself from the risks of identity theft, stalking, and harassment. So to try out this service for yourself and get 20% off of the consumer plan, I encourage you to click the description down below and use code GAME at checkout. This is truly a service I encourage everyone to use. With a turbulent home life, a desire to spend her time online, and no one to make her go to school, Belle's attendance was disastrous. To save her grades, her mother even agreed to let her transfer and start fresh somewhere new. However, social media ended up ruining her
I was gonna
chances
say I
of
had
a clean
pretty
break.
good attendance.
You
I guess
see,
I
Belle
did.
loved Facebook and would post and comment on the site often. Someone from her old school shared a post about cancer, with Belle saying, "I love cancer because I get to go to Disney." As she tells the story, after attending just one day at the new school, kids found her online joke, with her subsequently being harassed about the comments, leading her to be treated for
No,
depression. Belle went through
that's
the trouble of
something,
printing
like-
out every mean comment and forcing her mother to read each one. This resulted in Belle dropping out at the age of 14, which might I add is illegal in the UK, but she was never caught due to the messy transfer, so she ended up slipping through the cracks. Now not needing a formal education, Belle was free to pursue her internet obsession without constraints. She started to post photo shoots on her Facebook before turning to Instagram in 2015. There she began exploring Japanese fashion, building up her confidence enough to step out in public in the outlandish costumes. This was all very shocking to her small English town. As she became more
That's
comfortable with the judgmental
pretty
glares
funny,
from
actually.
neighbors, Belle decided to move in with her boyfriend, despite only being 15. She never stated this man's age, but considering he had his own place, I'll assume he was much older. It was between the ages of 15 and 17, free from her mother, Belle began to build up an audience online of mostly young girls like herself. She made a YouTube page in 2016 and posted makeup tutorials.
I've had a few people ask me how I do my makeup, so I thought I'd just make a quick and easy video of how I do it.
Despite having a small following, the aspiring content creator realized she was never going to make anything of herself from just clothing content.
Yeah.
During this time, Belle worked as a barista and waitress.
It's like me becoming a
The young
streamer.
dropout knew that her options were limited, so with her passions revolving around the internet, she went back to the drawing board for a career path. With this, she realized the easiest thing she could do to get attention would be to share sexual photos of herself. But selling lewd content wasn't good enough on its own,
Shit.
as she wanted to find an interesting spin on the format. This is when she had an epiphany. No one shares what adult content they watch with their friends. However, they might share an image of a hot girl if it was strange enough on its own merit. Belle needed to find the balance between being both sexy and memeable, so that she would have a shot at going viral. The next piece of the jigsaw to fall in place was when Belle met her current partner in 2017, and shared her desire to make money off of the internet. He must have been on board with this, because 6 months later, after her 18th birthday, Belle's content turned much more racy. The young woman also decided to explore herself more sexually with her boyfriend by attending swinger parties. She admits to never swapping partners, but it was a turn-on enough to just be in the same room with other couples. This experience drove her to start posting even more suggestive content, but not without a catch. Playing into her desire to be lusted after, she wore minimal clothing, along with odd additions such as pink wigs and cat ears, describing the look as the weird elf kitty girl aesthetic. She drove men wild with her ability to contort her face into the ahegao expression, colloquially referred to as the anime.
I never thought I'd hear Art talk about
bizarre and sexy.
What did he call it? Ahegao?
Her demographic changed.
How do I say? I don't know if I've ever even said that in real life. Like, I know what it is.
2018 went spectacularly for the young
funny.
woman as her strange idea of weird sexy worked its magic, and her image was shared far and wide across pages, such as Reddit and 4chan, where she was considered a genius. It was on these corners of the internet that she began to collect diehard fans that many would soon call her army of simps. Now it was time to monetize, when later that year she launched a premium Snapchat costing $50 a month, and a Patreon where she interacted with her fans. Belle received so much attention that even Rolling Stone commented, describing her as an alien Disney princess porn star. Her pricing for her exclusive material
varied
from $1 a month to the outrageous sum of $2,500. Paying the top tier would allow the customer to access every one of her photos, more exclusive behind-the-scenes shots, and a one-on-one Skype session. It's unclear how many people actually paid this sum, with the only person fessing up being YouTuber Will N.E., who wrote it off as a business expense for a video.
And then there's King, which is $1,000 a month. You are the king of my world. Could better be for $1,000.
Yeah, I want an engagement ring with her.
The YouTuber claimed to not be interested in any of her explicit content, but rather reached out to her to ask for help to get back at an enemy. He believed that using Belle's army of followers, he could outdo his nemesis Jill Hudson, a mom of fellow YouTuber Morgs, in their competition for subscribers. To his surprise, Belle actually responded to this and sent a very controversial video back.
Rise up, people. We need to stop Morg's mum.
Jesus Christ! What is that?
This is actually really fucking fascinating.
Miss Delphine had amassed 4.2 million followers, who were eating up her quirky and suggestive publicity stunts, with many defending it as a form of performance art. She would wear short skirts and make sexual faces while eating raw eggs, or playing with the dead octopus that she had stuck googly eyes on, all for the sake of attention. People online could not get enough of this strange and mysterious individual whose original post seemed so unhinged. She described her work as farming content for YouTubers who reacted to things online. A perfect symbiotic relationship. That's not to say everyone was a fan of Belle.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. The whole Babylon has a cup full of liquid, by the way. The gold cup full of liquid, which she offers to the world. Really? Absolutely.
With her growing fame, it was not
Jordan
surprising that
Peterson's
some would
fucking
try to
moron.
expose any scandals she had been involved in.
He's like
Indigo
the
White,
Dunning-Kruger
an adult
effect
content creator who
personified.
recently
He thinks
transitioned to
so
be a man,
highly
had
of himself.
attempted to expose Belle for posting sexual content while being underage in 2017. Now, just a heads up, this story is a bit convoluted, so I'm going to try to break it down the best I can. This tale began when a mysterious man reached out to Belle with a way to make quick money selling nudes. But the 17-year-old wasn't interested because of her age. However, the man had an idea to ease her fears. He wanted Belle to scour Tumblr for random girls' nudes and use them as her own to sell online for a profit. It's fucking easy. I feel uncomfortable doing that though. Horny old dudes will pay for anything.
True.
I'm not desperate enough. I never said you had to actually sell your nudes. Just think of it as a more rewarding than normal hobby. From these screenshots, it seems clear that the man is attempting to manipulate Belle into going along with what he wants, downplaying the severity of stealing someone's image. He took her desire to travel and convinced the teen to partake in the scam. Belle alleges that she only did this for 3 months, and that in that short time, the young girl got to know the man well enough for him to confess to his addiction to opioids. Should I get high on Xanax? No, you said you haven't for a while, so why start now? You're not usually stressed or sad. After she ended her business relationship with this man, Belle would become famous 2 years later. But in this time, one woman, Minty Darling, realized that Belle had stolen her X-rated photos in her scheme and went public with the claim in September of 2018. The internet sensation reached out to the wronged sex worker, even offering her what money she made off of the scam. Belle explained that she was in desperate need of cash, but didn't want to post her own nudes and was too lazy to get a job, and trusted the man she was working with. Minty turned down the cash and wanted Belle to make a public apology, but the request was ignored. When Belle's fans started picking up the story, the young internet star panicked and reached out again to Minty, pleading with her to release a public message saying all was forgiven. Minty declined this offer, feeling Belle needed to pay for the consequences of her actions. Shortly after this, a Facebook post trashing Belle began circling the internet by a woman named Katarina Moon.
Is that a thing?
Allegedly, Belle reached out to this woman and asked for her help on how to deal with the Minty situation. This person then turned on her and released a lengthy post titled, "Belle Delphine is Cancelled," where she slammed the star for all of her wrongdoings.
I vaguely remember that. I don't really follow Belle Delphine. I think she's
encapsulated everything
incredibly
being said,
entertaining,
but
though.
made the story a bit more cohesive. Indigo didn't just talk about the stolen nudes, but called Belle a scammer for advertising like she was going
I
to
forgot
post
all
real
about that.
explicit
Holy
content.
fuck.
There was actually
Space
censoring
elevator.
the majority of the pictures. Additionally, they brought up the rumor that Belle had stolen underage girls'
crazy.
nudes and sold those as well, though there's no proof of that claim. It's also interesting that Indigo has since removed the video trashing Belle from his YouTube channel for reasons unknown. Despite this huge scandal and threats of legal action, nothing ever came to fruition. The situation seems convoluted
wild.
enough that a majority of Belle's fans were not even aware of the situation, let alone upset about it. Besides a brief period of stress, the young star came out of the drama unscathed and began brainstorming new ways to get more people talking about her in a more unique light.
Bathwater.
With her fame growing, Belle turned her focus to the idea of selling creator products. While every other YouTuber at the time wanted to sell personal merch in the form of t-shirts, she wanted something different. At first, she pondered the idea of selling her hair, but realized it wasn't sustainable and had been done before. This is when genius struck after she saw a simp comment that they wanted to drink the water she bathed in. Belle ran with the idea, figuring why not, and bottled used soapy liquid, adding a colorful pink label titled Gamer Girl Bathwater. She then started advertising.
That is so fucking
but
funny.
I can't imagine she knew that this would become the biggest publicity stunt of her entire career. Even
That
with
is
the high
so
price
funny
of
to me.
$35 for a jar, Belle quickly sold out the 600 plus containers. It was covered on every side of the internet, even getting mainstream media coverage. People found the stunt both disgusting and genius.
It is.
Popular
It's
YouTubers
absolutely
bought the jars,
genius.
with some drinking the water and others vaping it.
You probably shouldn't drink soapy water in general, but Yeah, don't do
With
that
all the
either.
money seemingly coming in, it's not a surprise that the internet took things too far, claiming that the water could give you herpes, leading to hospitalization and caused patient zero of COVID-19. While on the surface it seemed like an easy way to get rich quick, Belle's later revelation shattered those expectations. You see, when she created the labels, she forgot to add a disclaimer on the product. This meant that the gamer girl could be liable if someone drank the water and became sick. In a panic, she quickly emailed everyone that purchased the jars and had them sign disclaimers before she sent it out. After this big headache, she was able to eventually get people their packages, and most believed that this would be the end of the story. However, in May of 2024...
Why didn't anyone mention that? Like, if she made them sign disclaimers, I've never heard
she had
that.
violated PayPal's terms of service, resulting in a $2,500 fine for each infraction. This means she lost all the money she made, totaling $90,000. When Belle pushed back, PayPal refused to give her funds and mailed all the bathwater out of her own pocket. After going public with the problem, PayPal at first refused to comment, but Belle's fans didn't let up and continued to push for an answer. This resulted in mainstream news sites picking up the story, such as Business Insider.
There was a thing I watched earlier today, too, about this, like, super big PlayStation fan, like this fucking mega fan, and he got, like, banned or whatever. And they wouldn't tell him why. Like, there's a lot of that going on, it seems. Just being, like, banned and just not being given a reason. Fuck, that's happened to me with YouTube strikes. Like, they struck me several times for, like, spam and deceptive practices, which I've never spammed in my whole fucking life. And I asked him, like, specifically what... like, where in my video was I spamming or being deceptive, and they wouldn't tell me. Like, directly from YouTube, which nobody gets an answer, or, like, on Twitter. That shit is so fucking frustrating. Because, like, how are you supposed to, like, not repeat the same mistakes if you don't know the mistake that you made in the first place?
And NBC News.
So
they
fucking frustrating.
PayPal for its actions, even saying that they were notorious for being an untrustful service that discriminated against sex workers, getting them in hot bath water
I'm
with
a terrible
civil rights
sniper.
groups. Eventually, mounting social pressure gave way and Belle got the money back after the company stated that they had reversed their terms of service. Many asked why she hadn't called out the company sooner, but it appears she kept it a secret to preserve the allure. This really goes to show just how dedicated Belle was to keeping her persona alive. Following the bathwater stunt, Belle had more attention around her name than ever before. She continued to post lewd, but not actually nude photos on her Patreon. That is until she decided to do something more extreme and announced that she would be creating a hub account. All of her fans went wild with the news, readying their hand lotion and tissues
PewDiePie goes inside me and shade a picture of him.
To
It's
drop
funny
in
as shit.
2019. Unfortunately for them, Belle had a special surprise. You see, the young woman had captivated her fans' attention for months. But when the
This
countdown came to
genius.
a close, they were left disappointed, as there wasn't anything explicit released, but instead just puns. Fans clicked on a video titled Belle Delphine plays with her.
This whole place is one big cage.
Listen, Marine, you're wounded. You gotta try and relax.
What is this?
Except we're the zebras, get it? All fenced in and ready for the slaughter.
And the
You don't slaughter zebras.
Careful, I think you strained a metaphor.
Oh God! Oh God! Is that serious?
Well, only if you keep it up.
That's fucking hilarious. That is really funny.
Which would just show her petting a stuffed cat. Another named PewDiePie Goes All the Way Inside Belle Delphine was just the young woman sitting in a room and eating a photograph of the YouTuber. The misleading titles caused millions to leave disappointed and sexually frustrated. To be fair, Belle never said that she was going to post anything explicit.
Yeah.
But of course, everyone just
Like, I could
assumed the
stream...
worst.
Well, actually,
Or
no,
best,
that's not
I
true.
guess.
I could not
Hundreds of her
stream on
most
Pornhub right
deranged and
now.
unsatisfied simps felt the
Because
need to
I'm
get
in
back at the young
Texas.
woman. In
And
retaliation
Pornhub is
for
blocked.
being fooled, they began to flag her Instagram page endlessly for violating guidelines. On top of this, there was a bizarre claim that Belle was not paying her taxes, despite there being no evidence of such. The lack of proof didn't stop a deranged stalker from finding her house, posting the address online, and leaving a handwritten note on her door demanding that she pay the government what was owed. The police did little to help, only blurring the house on Google Maps, resulting in Belle moving for safety reasons. Speaking of unwell internet users, in another instance, Belle refused to take the money from a mentally ill simp that she felt bad for. The individual sent her Lilo and Stitch merchandise, along with his passport, credit cards, and psychiatric appointments. Eventually, Belle did get the police involved because she feared for the man's health. None of this deterred her from work though, as she would continuously message 50 to 100 different top patrons every day. The young lady has been pretty supportive of her fans reaching out, as she would explain.
You just
that
gotta
most
love
of her
what you
simps
do,
are
right?
between
It's
the
not
ages
work
of
if you
21
love what you do.
28, and often on the autistic spectrum. Belle was happy to Skype these individuals despite the occasional crazy until the murder of fellow e-girl Bianca Devins in July of 2019, when a deranged man believed that they were in a relationship with the woman. While disturbing on its own, Belle was deeply affected when someone posted that she should be next, with the tweet receiving over 1,000 likes. Miss Delphine underestimated
That's
how
so
far
fucked
she
up.
could push the unruly internet mob. It was around this time that the multiple reports on her Instagram from scorned fans finally worked, and on July 19th of 2019, her account was deleted. This had a massive impact on Belle mentally and financially, as in a single moment she had lost a huge part of her social media standing.
When my Instagram got taken down, I was like, that's it.
Feeling that her online empire had imploded, she decided to log off the internet.
Yeah.
Her plan was to reevaluate her life, leading her to not check any social media for a prolonged
Then she
period
came
of
back.
time, focusing instead on family. And there were some hard realities that Belle had to face. The young woman had just bought her first house using the Patreon money. And with this, Belle was incredibly
It's a cute
proud of
little
herself
house.
and felt the desire to reconnect with her father. After reaching out to him, he came from South Africa to visit and met her partner. This reunion started off well, but her dad was suspicious about how Belle was able to afford such a nice home. After completing a Google search, he became enraged. The man did not approve of her
Really?
lifestyle, and after leaving, sent hurtful messages. It was at this moment that the e-girl realized there
That's
was
so
long-term
shitty.
consequences to this career. Regardless of the hurt this caused, she still decided it was best to re-enter the online arena as there was no turning back.
Senzawa!
Belle Delphine, though, she wasn't just going to reappear randomly online one day. There needed to be a story. So on October 7th, Belle posted what looked like a genuine mugshot of herself, even accompanied by a police watermark. The tweet instantly went viral as
Lol.
people asked two things.
That's funny.
One, was the arrest fake? And two, if it was real, what did she do to get arrested? Her local police department refused to comment on the incident despite many inquiries, feeding into the internet's belief that Belle truly had gotten into trouble with the law. Feeling that the tension had gone on long enough, Belle shared the story of how she was allegedly incarcerated. As the tale goes, while holding a party at her house, the e-girl woke up the next morning to find that her hamster had been stolen by another woman who was in attendance the night before. She then reached out to the hamster stealer, but the kidnapper denied it. In retaliation, Belle graffitied the person's car, writing the words, "Give me my hamster back." She claimed this caused the arrest, but upon release was successfully able to get her rodent home safely. It wouldn't be until a year later in 2020 that Belle would finally open up about how the entire thing was a hoax to get people talking about
Oh
her.
yeah, of course.
After she had taken a
Actually, I say that. I thought it was real. I didn't really give it enough credence
The
one
same
way or
month
the
as
other.
hamster
but
incident, Belle attended
Sure.
the Hub Awards
Obviously,
show on October
I
11th.
guess.
There she sported her classic pink hair and wore a Grim Reaper costume with the back of the coach reading, "I eat children." People were shocked that the extremely private individual had even attended the events, with many adult stars swarming the young woman asking for a photo. The internet sensation ended up winning the Top Celebrity Award for the volume of people who searched for her name on the website. It's interesting to note
That's
that she
so
won
funny.
an Adult Star Award before she filmed anything explicit. This revival would end up being short-lived.
That's
as
impressive.
She dipped back out of the internet life only a month later.
Yeah.
She wasn't seen
She's
again
gone
until
now,
a fan
too, right? I
spotted
don't think
Miss
she's
Delphine out in public with her
been
arm
seen in a
sling
while.
and foot in a cast on June 14th of 2020. This was a rare glimpse of what she looked like in day-to-day life. Just a few days later, Belle returned
There it
to the
is.
internet
It's so
on
good.
June 17th with her
Senzawa.
catchy parody of the song Gooba by rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. The video's purpose was quite obviously to
It's
announce her
ridiculous.
return as well as promote her new TikTok and OnlyFans accounts. The announcement of OnlyFans excited her followers and led them to wonder if she would be posting something more lewd or if this was going to be another prank like the Hub account. Even with her fans' reservations, people subscribed for the high price of access.
Do you have a monthly fee right now to join your OnlyFans?
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's 35.
So 30, wow. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
but-
on the, hold on one sec. So you're on the upper echelon easily in terms of what you charge monthly.
Even with this huge announcement, many fans were confused by the leaked photos of Belle injured, since only a few days later she seemed fine in the music video. The young woman took to Twitter a day after releasing
so
a rap
funny.
video to clear up these questions. Why was I gone for so long? Well, I wanted to come back earlier, but I suppose jumping off a roof into a kid's paddling pool wasn't a good idea, so I guess I had to stick with the rap video. While fans were anticipating the release of her OF account, she uploaded another music video featuring YouTuber Dahlia Kohai with a song called Plushy Gun. Given the graphic nature of these
He didn't give
it's not a
Senzawa
huge
her due.
surprise that Belle's YouTube account was deleted soon after.
There's like suicide ideation in it. There's a lot of sexual. I mean,
The actual acting. I mean, she's got a shotgun in her mouth. She's cutting her face with a razor blade.
The channel had 1.8 million subscribers, with Delphine and her fans outraged over the outright ban. And with enough fighting, her channel eventually got reinstated. In late 2020, Belle decided to pull back the curtain a smidge by going on a number of podcasts that she listened to regularly, such as Cold Ones, H3, Impulsive, and the Official Podcast. Many listeners would comment that she came across as much more down-to-earth than expected.
Of
All up
course.
until
She's.
this point,
Do
the
people
viewers
not know
saw
that
her
she
movements
plays this
online
up?
as
Everyone
random and
plays up
unpredictable.
their
These appearances
persona
showed the
online
world that Belle
to
had
some
total
extent.
control over the situation. Everything was a calculated marketing move.
So I needed to now that I was arrested, I needed to think of a crime that
She's like
wouldn't make
incredibly
people actually
smart,
hate
at
me.
least
So I was
marketing
thinking, okay,
wise.
what does everyone collectively love? Animals. Everyone loves animals. So if I do something bad,
Same
like,
with,
on behalf of
Amaranth.
animals, people won't be like, oh, she did a crime.
Interestingly enough, it's here that she first admitted to being intrigued by the idea of shooting true X-rated videos.
So does that mean you're not going to be ever doing hardcore porn?
No, it doesn't mean that. I might.
While fans were excited to see more of Belle's real personality, and many found her story incredibly interesting, people wondered why she was being so open all of a sudden. In addition to just talking to
not?
some of her favorite content creators, she started also sending out mystery boxes to anyone the e-girl admired in space. To the YouTuber Will N.E., who had previously paid for the $2,500 Patreon account, she gifted a pink Fiat with her name on it, filled with interesting presents. The most interesting
Bunch of
items
sex
inside
toys.
the car were a giant teddy bear, a donut inner tube, a custom dartboard, a pink Nerf gun, a real chainsaw, a custom condom, and allegedly a vial of her blood.
condom.
To the H3 podcast, she sent a jar of her spit. She even sent her leg cast to the now deceased 2Mad from when she supposedly jumped off a roof.
Unfortunately, there's no leg in there. God damn.
Belle may have given the hosts of the Happy Hour podcast the best gift of all, though, and I'm not talking about the fidget spinner rectal toy. She provided them the giant scoop that she would officially be posting hardcore pornography on her OF account.
There it
So
is.
in my first porn video that I will ever do, where I'll show everything, I'm going to be selling the condom that we use in the video.
My god. This was going to be a huge jump for the now 20-year-old who had actually been fairly conservative up until this point. However, she had carefully taken several steps to get here along the way, such as posting full nude pictures, doing her first ever girl collab photo shoot with Pixie Cats, and refusing to ever rule out hardcore scenes fully. What was interesting about Belle's decision to do this was the fact that she was already making millions. There wasn't really a need for her to go all the way.
God
Instead,
damn it.
Miss Delphine just wanted to keep on pushing boundaries.
I'm getting a bit bored, and I like doing everything. I like dipping my toe in every single thing.
For years, Belle had been inching closer and closer to the possibility of filming an X-rated movie, but something mentally kept stopping her until she realized that sooner or later her private videos would be leaked, and then she would have absolutely no control over the reveal. With this rationale, Belle decided to cross the final boundary on her own terms. In true Delphine fashion, she would be releasing the explicit video on Christmas morning as a gift to her fans.
25th of December, Christmas, baby.
What a Christmas gift.
Okay.
Wow, Santa really delivered this.
She also toyed with the idea of launching an entire line of contraceptives called Gamer Girl condoms to expand her business. It was none other than Mike Malak that pointed out a small problem with her business strategy, he being an expert in that sort of thing.
Do you think the payout on that condom will be worth the detriment to the scene that is wearing a condom in your first porn? Because let's be honest, nobody wants to see that.
Even though Belle was going to do an explicit video, this was not going to be like your typical adult movie. Firstly, Belle was shooting it herself and had full control over what she posted. Secondly, the man in the video would not be just some random guy.
Who are you going to be doing the porn video with?
With my partner.
There we go.
The concealed man is Belle's long-term partner that would co-star her, with the two having been together before she was famous.
How long?
3 years.
3 years. So he's very much been there, and you started doing the OnlyFans stuff in the last year, 2?
I've only been doing OnlyFans since I came back to the internet for like 6 months.
Right, okay, so he's been there through the kind of like progression.
Where's my sniper rifle?
He's been there pretty much from the beginning. He was there before my name was Belle Delphine.
If what Belle is saying is true, that means she met this man when she was 17 because she didn't become Belle Delphine until she turned 18.
I know something that you've talked about, and obviously you're still evolving as an entertainer, because you said you've been with your partner for like 3 years now. And wait, is that correct?
Honestly, I don't know.
All right. Well,
like 3-4 years.
So we'll say 3-4 years.
It is also interesting to point out that if Belle started dating this partner in 2017, it lines up with the time she was stealing girls' nudes and posting them as her own to make money with the help of an older man, though I have no way of knowing if this is the same individual. What we do know about this partner is that he's at least a few years her senior. Belle refers to him as daddy, with him going everywhere with her, relying on him to cook, clean, and shop.
What are the gaps that are being filled in there?
Well, like,
God damn, it's fucking cold in here now.
Like he will drive me everywhere. He does like the shopping and all like the obviously the accounting and taxes and stuff, and he'll like help me like cook food for myself.
It's clear these two have an odd dynamic that's shrouded in mystery. YouTuber and known domestic abuser I Am Alex once attempted to reveal his identity.
What? What do you mean she's got boyfriends? Oh, I can't do this video anymore then.
However, Belle denied this, and no one else has really been able to name the boyfriend outright. Through my search, I was able to uncover a man's name attached to Belle's business and some other information through linking together social media pages. But I'm at a point that I don't think it's pertinent to the story at hand, so I'll just leave that research on the cutting room floor. The official reason Belle gives for keeping her partner's identity private is that if her viewers could put a face to the man in her videos, it would ruin the girlfriend fantasy she's selling.
Yeah,
like just
this
less,
because it can put them off when they see their face. You know, I just want him to be in a non-demeaning way, a kind of yeah.
And with that, she stuck to her word and released her first ever hardcore scene on Christmas. If her goal was to make a lot of money quickly, this ended up being a smart move for the young woman, who ended up making $5 million in the first 7 minutes her first video
Oh my
launched.
god.
Despite the intense
$5 million
cash flow, Belle
in
admitted to
7
allowing the
fucking
hate
minutes.
to bother her and feeling vulnerable.
I can't even.
You know, everyone's got their insecurities. I want to be seen in the best light, and I think that does take away from it because it comes across as not entirely genuine.
Not only was she
Staged,
getting
for
comments
sure.
online, but Belle's mother was also disturbed by the content her daughter was now posting. It turns out her mom stopped talking to her over it and has still not fully mended the relationship to this very day. Even more intriguing is that Belle understands why her parent reacted poorly and she wouldn't want her own children to be in sex work.
She wasn't at first, which I don't blame her at all. It's not a good thing for your child to do. I wouldn't want my children to do it.
Looking back on her first video, Belle admits to cringing and hating the way it turned out. There was so much pressure for her to release this first scene, leaving her unhappy as a result and wanting to redo the entire thing if she could. Despite her sadness, during this time she also engaged in a competition with YouTuber Moist Critical. The two of them were quickly buying up every available adult toy to add to their collections, so that
That's
they
so
could be
funny.
recognized for the world record of largest phallic device collection. Despite her plethora of risque publicity stunts on the internet up until this point,
That is
Belle
so
was
funny.
still not done pushing the limits.
What
In
the
previous
fuck?
interviews, the OnlyFans actress hinted at how she wasn't able to post her kinks online because she knew that many
God
people were
damn.
not into them
They have
and
no
wouldn't
chill.
find it interesting.
I have like kinks and stuff that I won't show on the
Sure.
internet or whatever, just because like I know people aren't
Philip
just into it.
DeFranco,
I know
so
it's
funny.
just me who's into it.
However, in 2021, she took a sexual exploratory risk that landed her in trouble with many on the World
Oh,
Wide Web.
God!
It all
Get out!
started on January
Get out!
12th when Belle tweeted out an image of herself with a gag over her mouth and her hands tied in the back of an unmarked van. She then wrote, "My perfect first date." This image was a promotion for her OnlyFans
Yeah, of
content,
course.
involving a scene of her being assaulted in the woods. Instantly, she was criticized for fetishizing assault and kidnapping. What made it even worse
Don't
was
kink
this was
shame.
during Human Trafficking Awareness Month. With the added attention on her name, more people online began claiming that Belle promotes pedophilia with her childlike clothes and playing with kids' toys. It wasn't the first time Belle had been slammed for her aesthetic, but clearly it got to the young woman this time around, who released a string of tweets defending
Where
her
the fuck
actions.
did I put my sniper?
I'm not sorry. Here's why. There is nothing wrong with enjoying power play in BDSM, where
Yeah.
both people are consensual. I think saying because I enjoy consensual non-consent is promoting rape is the same as the argument that violence in video games promotes violence. I felt like dressing vintage that day and even styled
an
my
interesting,
hair in a beehive that was very common for women of the time.
take on
All
it.
the clothes I wear are made for adults, so the only thing that people can comment on is the fact that I'm wearing a cute dress. It's very confusing for
Kill him.
me since I see other people dressed like it all the time. If it's about how I genetically
Fuck.
look, I can't change that, and I will not apologize for it either. Nor will I stop being sexual since I am a sexually active adult.
Sure.
Whether Belle was genuinely pissed off for being criticized or merely feeding into the drama, it worked perfectly for her brand. Everyone was discussing her actions, thrusting her name into the internet spotlight.
You are a real person, Belle, and people know that you're a real person. And seeing that, people are like, oh, this is what women like.
My perfect first date with a series of not safe for work pictures of her tied up in a van, tied up, pushed against a tree.
Despite the rebuttal, she would end up deleting her tweets and disappearing from the internet once again, this time for 14 months. She returned during the viral Johnny Depp trial where she pretended to be Amber Heard and also ate a light bulb, although of course it wasn't real. Further, she
Of
promised
course.
her simp army more
That's so
OnlyFans
funny.
content starting on May 1st of 2022. She didn't let her fans down as she began posting content with people other than the masked man. In June, Belle collabed with fellow model Tazia. This woman became popular for her Dungeons & Dragons cosplay, matching Belle's brand. The two of them posted themselves in compromising positions while wearing matching lingerie. It was around this time that many people believed Belle and her partner may have broken up.
Fuck.
The reason for this being that the young woman only posted solo images, leading to disappointment as they became accustomed to racier scenes. Do any autistics remember the last photo of them actually together? It would explain the boring comeback and zero marketing genius style epic troll trademark antics to get everyone's attention. The creativity well dried up, it seems. In fact, it would explain why her OF seems exclusively just nudes and solo stuff now. Fueling these rumors was when Belle denied being secretly married. On top of this, Belle
Oh my
would go
god,
on
I
to
thought I
collab
could get.
with several
Fuck!
different male YouTubers,
Alright.
posing for photos in a sexual
and learn.
manner while plugging her OnlyFans. In June of 2022, she posed with 2Mad. This sent viewers into a spiral as they truly believed that the two were sleeping together. Making the pairing even more controversial were the outfits they wore. 2Mad was dressed in a gorilla costume, which many accused of being purposefully racist. Belle didn't seem to care how the internet responded to this, as she dropped a parody music video soon after. In November, Belle was next seen with musician Tree. The two of them took pictures together, as well as filmed odd TikToks that
Who the
caused
fuck
the
is
internet
that?
to believe
What kind of
Belle
hair
was
is
now
that?
a Dalek. Next, she teamed up with the streamer Finster. The pair recreated a popular meme and even allegedly kissed, although those pictures were never posted. The event that would truly get her OnlyFans numbers up again is when she would have her first ever threesome, marking the return of her masked boyfriend, along with adult star Mia Malkova. This occurred on May 2nd of 2023. And despite her partner being involved,
I need
many
my
noted
sniper
that he
back.
did not actually
I don't
touch
know
the
where
other
it
woman
went.
during the filming. It's clear Belle and her partner have some pretty firm boundaries for where they draw lines, with her even going so far as to say that he is the only man she has ever slept with. Despite minor gripes, most of her paying fans were pleased with her stepping over another line in what she was willing to post online. Moving forward to the present day, Miss Delphine has certainly done her best to keep people talking, though it's become increasingly difficult for the adult star to draw the same headlines as during her bathwater heyday. In April of 2024, she released a
What a
life-size
day it
doll of
was.
herself, which came shipped in a pink sparkly coffin and sported a pair of her used underwear. Despite the provocative nature of this product, it didn't receive anywhere near the attention of her stunts of years past. And that is one of the biggest things I've noticed while researching this video. As time has gone on, her relevance has slowly waned, as you can tell by looking at Google Trends metrics. But I haven't really seen anyone break down why this is. Well, I have a few theories. For one, I feel the moment she started doing hardcore videos, a lot of intrigue was gone now that the cat was out of the bag.
That's true.
Literally. The teasing of her doing adult content kept people engaged.
Like,
with
once
the
you
story
cross
for
that
years.
line, I
Once she
think
crossed
it's only
that line,
downhill.
People lost interest. Sure, she may have made a lot of
See?
money when she filmed the scene, but
Yeah.
since she isn't the
It's
best
like,
shooting adult videos, which she
Dream
admits
revealing his
herself,
face
people
completely
quickly got
tanked
bored.
him.
On top of this, Belle going on all those podcasts completely destroyed her persona. What was once this weird character where no one knew where fiction ended and reality began, now became a real woman who admitted it was all an act. The saddest part is, I don't think she had anything to gain by going on these shows besides chatting with creators who she was a fan of herself. It would have been best to stay as secretive as possible. Finally, now that Belle is in her mid-20s, the aesthetic she became famous for just doesn't work as well as when she was 19. She doesn't look like a teenager anymore, and Belle even admits that if she was still doing this at 30, it would become pretty weird. All that said, she has made millions of dollars and can retire whenever she wants. And at the end of the day, I think she's approached making adult content the least degenerate way possible. Hear me out.
True.
She has always made content on her own terms without any sort of pimp coercing or profiting off of the videos. When she did decide to make hardcore content, it was with her spouse, which she says is the only man she has ever had sex with. And with all the money made, she bought herself and her mother nice houses in the British countryside, while avoiding the drugs and tax evasion seen by a lot of the other women in the space. With the help of a partner to generate ideas with, a deep understanding of internet culture, and her career perfectly coinciding with the rise of OnlyFans, everything in her story was a recipe for a lucrative yet fleeting online career. Despite the edgelord persona, in reality, Belle Delphine might just be the most wholesome name in adult entertainment.
I actually agree with that. That was really interesting. I didn't know a lot of that. Let's see. What else do I have to get my mind off of things? YouTubers who accidentally found terrifying things. I'll buy it.
Connor Kelly and his family were exploring the McCoy mine in Nevada. An abandoned mine shaft in the desert, with a portion of the entrance still accessible, the group begins to travel through the depths of the mine and begin their exploration. The cavern was very large, with a few artifacts still present from when it was functional years ago. The group stays quiet as they don't want to risk the sound dislodging any rocks from the ceiling. However, it's not long before they approach something that demands discussion.
Found something reflecting back at me. What
Do you see the reflection? They're trying to.
Oh. What is it?
It's shoe.
The group finds a large pile of children's-sized shoes and bones. The group suddenly gets justifiably cautious and stands back as they're unsure what to do from here.
Yeah, what do
One
you
member
do?
of the group even pulls a gun,
at all?
viewing for nearby predators deeper in the cave, or quite possibly, even another human. After a brief discussion and inspecting the pile of shoes a little closer, the group advances a little bit further, where a dead end is found, and the floor is scattered with more bones.
What the fuck?
Further investigation from viewers of the video mentioned that the bones don't appear to be human. It's more likely that these bones were a result of animal carcasses from predators such as mountain lions who might have feasted on their food within the cave. The children's shoes, however, are a completely different story. There is no definite explanation for this, and I don't think there ever will be.
Weird. That is
However,
so
the leading
weird.
theory is that these were trophies collected from a serial killer. Collecting items from victims isn't unheard of, with a very famous legend in Michigan claiming that a mysterious tree dangling children's shoes was also decorated by a serial killer. If you look at the shoes, they also appeared to be tethered differently. Some shoes look so worn like they've been there for decades, while others only a few years old. These shoes weren't dumped here all at once. It's a collection that had been built for some time. The family leaves, and no conclusions have been met. A YouTuber by the name Dateline420 was hiking in the woods on the border of a park in Suffolk County, New York. Here he stumbled across what he believed to be the end of somebody's property, as there was a shed and a fire pit, as well as the sound of cars in the distance. Directly outside, where the property line meets the woods, were trees decorated with something harrowing.
Anyway, I'll cut right to the chase because I might die. Look what these fucking are.
Oh, I think I've seen this before.
Missing person
At least
photos.
this one.
Not one, not two, but dozens of posters detailing missing people were pinned on almost every tree in the surrounding area. One might wonder if maybe this was a setup for a video, however, making this all more disturbing. These have been confirmed to be real missing people. Taking a closer look, these are missing person cases from all across the United States and throughout different years, mostly between 2009 and 2013. They also look very old and weathered, as if they've been hung up for quite some time.
Maybe you could pass. You don't know. Like, not just that this is 2012, Noblesville, Indiana, right? Look at the fucking tape. Look at the water damage. These shits have been hanging up for a while.
Whether this be a serial killer's documentation of his murders or some sick joke, it's still disturbing either way.
Some weird shit.
The man then investigated the surrounding area and finds a few more unsettling things. The most odd being what appears to be a cage built with binded tree branches and a filled-in hole sitting at the center. The man eventually hears voices and runs away.
Yeah, fuck that.
He reported the findings to the police, and after a quick investigation, the house adjacent to the campsite claimed that they pinned the photos as they were preparing for an upcoming Halloween party. However, if that's the case, why do the posters look so old? And why was this the only thing set up at least a month before Halloween? With many people asking, and Dateline420 very curious, he revisited the site on Halloween to only find multiple new no trespassing signs and no indicator for any party or event.
Huh. Weird.
YouTubers Sam and Colby often make videos featuring themselves and a group of friends as they visit haunted locations. I say this with no disrespect, as I think it makes for a more interesting story. However, their content is very suited to the seemingly staged side of YouTube horror. It seems like every abandoned place they go to has some paranormal occurrence, and it's hard to imagine that at least some of these aren't staged. Again, I want to reiterate, they are very entertaining, and they deserve the success for the production they put in.
Like, if you know it's
However,
staged,
one
then
night,
sure.
they
Like,
witnessed
why
one
not?
of the most terrifying horrors they have on this channel, and they didn't even realize it. In a video titled Exploring Abandoned Insane Asylum, Girl Screams, Sam and Colby, as well as fellow YouTubers The Ireland Boys, visited an abandoned asylum hidden in a nearby forest. Typical to the format they have on many videos, they explored the abandoned building and swear someone was there with them.
I literally think there was someone downstairs. Whatever thing that you heard earlier. I think that's basically all there is there. To explore. It's just a bunch of rooms. Well, then let's go over and figure out what's downstairs before it comes up and finds us. Okay.
They act nervous and walk around cautiously. However, as they're exploring more, they hear police sirens coming from the distance. Thinking that they might be coming for them, as visiting this place is technically trespassing, the group flees the building and stakes out in the nearby woods.
There are people right in front of us that are not Colby, and they are looking right past us.
It's only here that a series of odd occurrences commence that even the YouTubers aren't quite sure what to make of. They notice a few random people entering the building they just left, and a helicopter with active searchlights flying overhead. They run through the woods, trying to make their escape, when they suddenly hear a blood-curdling scream.
Nope.
You hear that?
Get the fuck out of
Get
there.
out of here. Go! Guys, run!
Real or not.
The woman continues to scream, and eventually the crew flees the woods to conclude their latest episode of exploring creepy abandoned buildings.
Oh my god, why am I so
After this
bad?
night, and the upload of the video, viewers would begin to get curious and investigate what might have happened that night. And a few weeks later, they would find out that yes, it was true. This was most definitely not a planned bit by Sam and Colby. If you take a look at this map, the YouTube group was in this forest in early September of 2017. It was right here, on September 13th, that the body of Lauren Wallen, a pregnant mother, was found dead in a shallow grave. She had been missing for 9 days. Although never confirmed, one can easily imagine where these screams came from on that tragic night in this forest.
Guys, what the you hear that?
Adventures with Purpose is a YouTube channel that focuses on recovering artifacts from lakes and ponds. These are normally related to true crime cases, whether it be a car from a criminal or an article of clothing from missing people. The goal of the channel is to basically help out investigations as well as aiding the environment. That's why on May 26 of 2020, the group planned to participate in a mass environmental cleanup. In a survey of a lake in
find,
Portland,
like, dead
Oregon,
bodies.
they found evidence of multiple vehicles that have sunk to the bottom of the lake. On a day where the tide was low, the group built a map, pinning general locations to all these vehicles, and planned to dedicate the day to retrieving them and cleaning out the waters. They get in their wetsuits and begin navigating the lake, diving down and pinpointing each car detailed in their debriefing. They quickly find the first car and begin preparing for extraction. After attaching the car to a trailer on the land and positioning it to be pulled up a ramp, Adventures with Purpose went live to document a sweet moment in humanity.
We're dressed up. We are finally back in the water. Yes, we are. Before that, like, we can. Like,
Nope, they're gonna find some bodies or
we have
something.
A car that's coming out right now.
They're about
this
to-
car today. We're gonna do this whole thing
Not
live.
good.
Like we've spent last 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, yeah, 4 or 5 hours.
Already getting this thing out because it was
10:30.
10:30 this morning. It was 80 feet deep, and so we're now at the very end of this, and we've never done actual live
Here it
showing
is.
somebody for us to bring out of the river.
Many individuals were volunteering their time to clean the water, and just as the first car began to emerge from the lake, a chilling discovery would be found.
Bodies are inside.
There's a shoe in there. Whoa, 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 whoa! Call the cops! Call the cops! Call the cops!
A decomposed body and bones was sitting in the front seat.
There it is.
After the police were called, investigation found that this body belonged to Timothy Robinson, a man who went missing on November 27th of 2008, 12 years before this discovery was made. The family was notified and were relieved to finally have some closure after so many years. Exploring with Josh, a YouTuber who explores a variety of places, once found his crew and himself at the neck of a giant underground cave. This cave, in Washington County, is named the Ape Cave and stretches almost 2.5 miles long. Although deep, the cave is rather open with plenty of room for exploring and walking around. There's little risk of getting stuck, and it's typically welcoming to amateur spelunkers. Josh and his friends found this encouraging, however weren't afraid of taking a little risk to reach less explored sectors of the cave.
I've finally seen some sort of writing, but I can't really make out what it says. But I think we're gonna be kneeling down now. I think we're gonna have to kneel down. Oh god.
The majority of the 12-minute vlog just features the crew having fun. They begin to walk down a corridor that continuously gets smaller and smaller, before each are on their stomachs, inching through the narrow tunnel they found themselves in. They continue to question if they should continue, wondering if there's any more to explore as the tunnel gets rather tight.
I don't even know if this leads out anywhere. I think it's just the end. We can be crawling all day. Let's find out.
They even reach a point where they were about to turn back. However, Josh luckily noticed that the tunnel opened up.
Those don't even
The
do
crew
anything.
squeezed through and successfully reached the end of the cave. What they didn't know was that somebody was waiting for them at the end.
Okay. Got it. Can I head back now? This girl doesn't have a flashlight. Okay, I'm gonna take out my phone, actually.
What's up?
English?
What the?
You speak English? No English. No.
The
Oh, okay,
fuck?
Okay. Come with us.
Hey Josh, do you see those the couple that was back there?
Come on,
Can
come
you
with us.
tell them their daughter's up here and she's scared?
They don't speak. She doesn't speak English.
They don't speak English.
It's okay. It's all right.
That's wild.
This is the way back. What an experience. As we were about to leave, this little girl comes up out of nowhere, scares us, and at first we're like, wait, whose parents are hers? And she was just there alone by herself. Then she just stood there in the back, so I started talking to her, but she wouldn't answer me. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't think she speaks English. It turns out she really didn't speak English at all. She's by herself, crawled the whole way in there by herself, no light.
Jesus.
No light. What the heck? I don't get it. No light.
That would be fucking
She didn't even-
horrifying.
Inside one of the deepest sectors of the Ape Cave was a little girl, noticeably terrified and cautious. The group tried to console her, however she was clearly fearing for her life, as she didn't want to approach the strangers in the isolated cave. Turns out that this girl was missing, ran into the Ape Cave, and crawled to the end of one of its deepest tunnels. The girl was stranded, alone in the dark, and looking at this angle of the only entrance to her location, I wonder if she would ever have been found, if not for this group.
That is wild.
She was let out and thankfully reunited with her family.
Holy shit. I have a bunch of stuff. 5 most disturbing deaths at water parks.
In this video, we're telling 5 true stories that changed the way we look at water parks forever.
One of them's gonna be
Despite their
Varuk.
intended role as hubs for fun and relaxation, water parks are vulnerable to disasters. Join us as we explore the devastating consequences of neglect and the cost of inaction. It was March 27th, 2021, and Leonardo Luna Guerrero was on a family vacation in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. The 13-year-old boy, his parents and siblings had recently recovered from illness, and they chose Senses, a popular water park, to celebrate their return to health. But what should have been a joyful
It's a good name.
celebration turned into a heartbreaking loss for the Luna family when Leonardo fell victim to a horrific accident. Described by his family as a brave and resilient boy, he had recently recovered from COVID-19, an illness that had taken its toll on the family. As such, the family had come to senses for a much-needed holiday during Holy Week, not only to relax but to mark a symbolic victory over the virus. Accompanied by his father, Miguel Angel Luna Calvo, his mother, and 3 siblings, Leonardo was eager to enjoy the day. The park, part of the well-known Grupo Xucarret, was a familiar and trusted destination for many vacationers. With its combination of natural beauty and recreational attractions, it seemed like the perfect place to celebrate. No one could have foreseen the tragedy that was about to take place. On March 27th, Leonardo and his family were drifting along one of the park's lazy river rides, a shallow water attraction designed for gentle floating. It was the kind of ride families can enjoy together, suitable for adults as well as for kids, but it quickly turned into a nightmare. As Leonardo floated downstream, he was suddenly sucked under the shallow water. His leg had become trapped in the uncovered filtration system of the ride.
I am
a
always
system that
scared
shouldn't
of
have been
those.
left
I have been
exposed.
forever.
The family,
That's
initially
why.
thinking it was a playful trick, quickly realized something was terribly wrong when Leonardo did not resurface. Miguel Angel Luna Calvo, Leonardo's father, was desperate to save his son. The man sprang into action as soon as he realized his son was in real danger. A cardiologist by profession, he rushed to free Leonardo from the filtration duct with the help of other park visitors. After a frantic struggle, Miguel managed to pull his son from the water, but by then, Leonardo had been
Too
submerged
late.
for a significant amount of time. He was unconscious. His father immediately began administering CPR, using his medical expertise to try and save his son's life. The park staff arrived, but according to Miguel, they were ill-prepared and unequipped to handle the emergency. He requested a respirator, but one was not available. As the minutes passed without proper medical intervention, Leonardo's condition worsened. An ambulance eventually arrived, transporting the boy to the nearby Amerimed hospital. Despite the efforts of his father and the medical team, Leonardo's injuries proved too severe. On March 28th, the young boy succumbed to a pulmonary hemorrhage, the result of drowning. The loss devastated his family, leaving them not only heartbroken but enraged at what they believed to be gross negligence on the part of the park and the hospital. Miguel accused both the park staff and medical personnel of mishandling the situation and failing to provide adequate care when his son needed it most. Miguel, who has been vocal about the circumstances surrounding his son's death, claimed that the park attempted to absolve itself of responsibility by pressuring him to sign a waiver before releasing Leonardo's body. Grupo Xucarret, which operates Senses, acknowledged that human error led to the accident, specifically citing the failure to cover the filtration system during ongoing repairs. However, Miguel argued that the park's negligence extended beyond the faulty equipment, criticizing their lack of preparedness and failure to administer first aid properly.
I don't know.
Miguel,
I don't-
determined to prevent another
I
family
don't know
from
about
enduring
that.
such a loss, has publicly condemned the park's
It's
handling
one of
of
those
the incident.
quote-unquote
He
act of
described
God
feeling helpless
things.
as hospital staff
Some random
allegedly
shit,
obstructed his efforts
maybe.
to transfer Leonardo to
That's
a
what I
better
think,
equipped
anyway.
facility. Miguel was also not allowed to pay the hospital bill, which he believes was an attempt to silence him and bury the controversy surrounding his son's death. In 2023, the legal battle between Leonardo's family and Xucarret Group was still ongoing. On August 7th, 2016, a day meant for family fun turned into an unimaginable tragedy at Schlitterbahn Water
There it
Park in
is.
Kansas City. The Schwab family, residents of Kansas, had visited the park for Elected Official Day, when public officials and their families were granted free admission.
holiday.
Michelle and Scott Schwab, along with their 4 sons, were excited to spend the day enjoying the water rides, but it was their 10-year-old son Caleb who was the most eager. Little did they know that this day would end in a devastating loss. Caleb, the second of the Schwab's 4 children, had always been full of energy and curiosity. His parents, especially his father, Kansas State Representative Scott Schwab, were eager to give their children a memorable summer day. Caleb, with his older brother Nathan, set his sights on the park's most thrilling attraction, the Verrucht water slide.
Yep.
Towering at 168
That's usually number
feet,
1 on
Verrucht
these
held
kinds
the
of
title
lists.
of the world's tallest
Interesting.
water slide, a feat of engineering that had captivated thrill seekers since its opening. The ride had no age restrictions, and Caleb, at just 10 years old, was allowed to ride despite his small stature. He and Nathan climbed the 264 steps to the top of Verrucht, joining the line of eager riders. Caleb, weighing only 73 pounds, took the front seat of a 3-person raft with 2 women seated behind him. Nathan had already completed the ride and waited for his younger brother at the bottom, unaware that a tragedy was about to unfold. As Caleb's raft descended the slide, everything seemed normal until the raft went airborne over the second
Yep.
hill. The weight distribution, combined with the ride's high speed, caused the raft to lift off the slide's surface. Caleb was forcefully thrown into the safety netting, where he struck a metal pole. The impact was fatal. He suffered catastrophic injuries on the spot. Witnesses below watched in horror as the raft, along with
I'm
Caleb's
fairly
lifeless
certain
body,
he got like
completed its
decapitated
descent.
from that.
Nathan, just 12 years old, saw the horrifying accident unfold in front of him. He screamed in terror, his voice rising above the chaos. Their mother, Michelle, rushed to reach Caleb, but bystanders held her back, fearing the devastating sight would be too much for her to bear. Meanwhile, Scott Schwab repeatedly asked in disbelief if his son was truly dead, grappling with the sudden and overwhelming loss. The aftermath of Caleb's death plunged the family into grief and disbelief. In the days that followed, an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident revealed shocking safety failures. Verrückt, although a marvel to onlookers, had been plagued with safety concerns long
Yeah,
before
the people
Caleb's tragic
didn't even
run.
have any
The
kind of like
slide's design and
physics,
construction were carried out by
much
individuals
less
without any
engineering
formal engineering expertise.
background.
Instead, they relied on trial and error methods, a dangerous
Yep.
gamble for a ride of such magnitude. Further investigation revealed that Caleb's light weight in the front of the raft contributed to the disaster, as it created an imbalance. This wasn't the first time that Raft B, the specific raft Caleb rode in,
Finally,
had gone airborne.
goddamn.
In fact, it had a history of speeding abnormally fast and lifting off the slide.
watched, like, a
but
whole
no significant
documentary about
changes were made
this.
to correct the issue. Even more concerning was the improper use of Velcro seatbelts, which had reportedly come undone on previous rides. This lack of basic safety precautions contributed directly to Caleb's death. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Verrückt had been a ticking time bomb. Before it opened to the public, there had been warnings about its
they
dangers.
rushed it
Test runs had
too.
shown sandbags
They
flying
were
off
trying
the
to
raft,
make
and
it
videos
for
of
this
the
like
unsafe trials had
MTV
circulated
show.
online. Despite
That
this, the park
also
pressed
did not
forward,
help.
promoting the slide as an extreme adventure while downplaying its very real risks. Other visitors came forward in the wake of Caleb's death, recounting their own injuries sustained on the ride, ranging from concussions to severe spinal damage. Caleb's tragic death prompted legal action, and in early 2017, the Schwab family settled with Schlitterbahn and other involved parties for approximately $20 million. The Verrückt slide was dismantled, and Schlitterbahn Kansas City closed permanently in September 2018. In March 2018, Jeff Henry, the park's co-owner and the visionary behind Verrückt, along with two other individuals, faced criminal charges, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. However, the charges were later dropped due to questions surrounding the evidence. Caleb Schwab's death was not merely a freak accident, but a preventable tragedy caused by negligence and safety failures. The loss of their son left the Schwab family shattered, forever marking a day that should have been filled with laughter and joy. On February 13th, 2022, Davy Lucas de Miranda and his family were on a quick visit to Diroma Aqua Park in Caldas Novas, Brazil. The park was one of the 8-year-old's favorite places. He especially loved the so-called volcano, a water slide that would become the site of an unspeakable tragedy. What began as a family outing to a beloved attraction ended in a devastating loss, casting light on safety failures that could have been prevented. Davy Lucas de Miranda was an energetic and curious 8-year-old boy. By February 2013, he had visited Diroma Aqua Park several times with his family. On that day, Davy's father, Luciano, had taken him and his younger brother for a fun afternoon at the water park. Davy, who had long been excited to return, knew the park well and was particularly fond of one of its signature attractions, the volcano slide. The ride consisted of 4 water slides emerging from the top of a replica volcano, a popular feature among visitors. But unbeknownst to Davy and his family, the volcano ride had been partially dismantled for maintenance. 3 of the 4 water slides had sections removed from their tubes, leaving gaping holes in the ride.
Holy
Although the park
shit.
had originally cordoned off the area with fencing,
What?
the fencing had been removed, leaving only minimal barriers in place. This gave the illusion that the ride was operational, with little to no signage indicating otherwise,
That is
especially not to
super
a child.
fucked up.
That afternoon, Davy managed to escape his father's attention after using the bathroom. Without proper supervision, and because he was so familiar with the park, the little boy wandered toward the volcano ride. Although the area had been supposedly blocked off, the barriers were insufficient, consisting of only a strip of tape at the entrance. Davy, unaware of the dangerous conditions ahead, climbed the stairs to the top of the slide. The slide Davy entered appeared normal at first, with no visible signs of the missing sections from his vantage
And they
point.
like
However,
still had
after descending the initial part of the ride,
water
Davy
running in it?
encountered a gap where the tube had been removed for maintenance. The boy plunged from the slide, falling nearly 50 feet and striking the metal and wooden structure that supported the ride. He then tumbled into a shallow pool at the bottom, measuring just 28 inches deep. Davy was still alive when rescue workers reached him, but he succumbed to his injuries later in the hospital. In the aftermath of Davy's death, his family was left shattered, grappling with the sudden and devastating loss of their beloved son. His mother, Jacqueline Rosa, described Davy as a marvelous child, full of plans, a super studious boy. He just wanted to play.
Peeking in the red.
The grief-stricken family demanded answers, convinced that the water park's negligence had contributed to their son's death. An investigation later revealed that the water park had acted recklessly in its handling of the ride's maintenance. The ride had initially been secured with proper fencing, but the park's manager, Cristiano Vilela Reis,
I don't know.
ordered the fencing to be removed.
Nobody said it before.
Were
Few
installed.
people have come in here.
These new
I'm
barriers,
not
however,
sure.
were insufficient to prevent access to the ride. As a result, Davy was able to climb the steps and enter one of the dismantled slides. The investigation also identified flaws in the maintenance process itself. The civil engineer responsible for overseeing the repairs, Flavio Tomás de Aquino Mus, had failed to ensure the site was adequately secured during the park's operational hours. Police concluded that if the original fencing had remained in place, Davy would not have been able to access the ride, and the fatal accident would have been prevented.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
On June
I can't
2nd,
turn it up any
1997,
louder.
Quimby Gilotti was a bright, ambitious young woman just days away from her high school graduation. That day, Quimby and her fellow Napa High School seniors were visiting Waterworld USA, a water park
What are
in
you up
Concord,
to?
California, when the unimaginable happened, forever changing the lives of the teenagers. At 18
Yeah,
years old,
I don't know
Quimby
how to
Gilotti
fix
was
that.
a model student,
I'm-
known for her
have
vivacious
everything maxed
personality,
out.
her involvement in the school's mock trial club, and her dedication to academic excellence. Like many of her classmates,
How is it?
she
I've
was
heard
probably
some good
excited to
things about it. Wait, actually, I might. Hold on. Those are my headphones, but sometimes. No? It's up. It's up on here too. I don't know. I can turn my sensitivity of my mic up, I guess. Is it? Yeah, I've only heard like passing things about it.
to celebrate the last days of high school with her peers before embarking on the next chapter of her life. That day at Waterworld was part of the traditional senior trip, a long-awaited event filled with anticipation.
A whole
She
expansion
and her
for
classmates,
controller
along with
support,
chaperones, had
$40.
boarded buses early that
$40
morning, eager to
controller
make
support
memories before
DLC.
graduation, which was just days away.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Now known as Six Flags
Apparently the
Hurricane
PvP
Harbor
is supposed to be
Concord,
good,
was a
but other
relatively
than that,
new water park,
I've
having
just
opened
heard
just 2 years prior. The
few
park was known
things.
for its towering slides and thrilling water attractions, and Napa High students had chosen it specifically for the excitement it promised. Among its many rides, the Banzai Pipeline stood out, a tall, open-air water slide that had become iconic
like
for
how
its
he
steep
says
drops and
bonsai.
fast twists. With the excitement of the day also came a
Stalkers.
tradition. For years, Napa High seniors had clogged the water slides.
I've
on
never
their
played
annual
the
trip,
first one,
a
Shadow-
practice in
it's
which
like
groups
Shadows of
students would
Chernobyl.
pack the slides and go down in large numbers, defying safety rules in pursuit of fun. It was a well-known ritual, and this year's graduating class had grand plans. Whispers among the students suggested that more than 70 of them wanted to take part in clogging the Banzai Pipeline.
That's what
Even
they
though
did
it
on The
was a risky stunt,
Simpsons.
most were eager to
With
participate,
H2O, they
seeking
just
to
sit
end
down
their
a bunch
senior
of
year
kids
with a
and
bang.
clogged everything.
As the
Actually,
day drew to
Homer
a close,
clogged it.
the park announced over the loudspeakers that it was time for the Napa High group to head back to their buses. Instead of leaving, dozens of students rushed to the Banzai Pipeline. Quimby, like many of
What?
her friends, was
What
among
did-
them. Along with 32
What?
other students, she climbed to the top of the slide, where a lifeguard was stationed to
Decryption
ensure
key?
safety. However, the group pushed
Dude,
past
I
the
know.
lifeguard,
I know.
determined to carry out their plan.
I've
The
just been
lifeguard
playing
blew her
Halo
whistle and shouted,
Infinite shit.
but it was too late. 33
This is not
students
that.
piled onto the slide at once.
I've been doing a
Moments
bunch of
later, disaster
multiplayer on
struck.
there, though.
The weight of the students proved too much for the slide's structure,
But
and
yeah.
it began to buckle. The
It's like once
fiberglass
you've
cracked
seen
under the pressure,
everything,
and in a matter of seconds, the section of the
I don't
slide
know.
that held the
It's
most
hard to
students collapsed. The The teenagers were thrown 40 feet to the ground below, some hitting
I don't
the
know what
wooden
I'm trying to say.
support
It's
beams
hard to
on
like
their way down.
find
Chaos
something
ensued.
new that's
Parkgoers
like
watched in
amazing.
horror as bodies
Because
fell
when you're
from the
young,
sky,
like
some landing
everything
on concrete,
is
others in
like you don't
shallow
have
water,
experience with
bushes, or
games,
against each other.
so
Some were more
everything is
fortunate than
really
others.
like, oh
Many
my
suffered
god.
broken bones and internal injuries, but one student would not survive. Quimby Gilotti, the bright and promising 18-year-old, suffered catastrophic
Not
injuries to
anymore.
her head and chest after striking a support beam. Despite efforts to save her, she died from her injuries 45 minutes after the
Yes.
accident. The other
Jason the
injured students were
Dragon,
rushed
for
to
lack of a
nearby
better
hospitals,
word,
and many
to
would
use a
recover,
heroin
but
term.
Quimby's death left a mark on her classmates and community. Napa High School's graduation ceremony, held just 10 days after the accident, was a somber affair. Some students attended in wheelchairs, while first responders and medical staff
That
were
is
invited
so
to honor
fucked
the
up.
lives affected by the tragedy.
Holy
But Quimby Gilotti wasn't there to graduate.
Oh my God.
Lawsuits followed, including
can't
a
even
wrongful
imagine.
death suit filed by Quimby's father, Larry Gilotti,
The
who sought
water
justice
slide
for the loss of his
collapsed.
daughter. In the end, Quimby's family settled for $1.7 million, the largest of all the settlements related to the accident. Napa High
God
School
damn.
also established the Quimby Gilotti Memorial
So fucked
Scholarship
up.
Assembly to provide financial
Sliding
aid
down and
guidance
it
to
just
future students.
collapsing. Can't even imagine.
On a summer day in August 2022, 11-year-old Kyra Hill, a bright athletic girl from Croydon, South London, was attending a friend's birthday party with 10 other children at
Oh,
Liquid
fuck
Leisure,
this.
a water park near
Wanna play
Windsor,
Halo
Berkshire.
Infinite.
That day, Kyra was eager to enjoy the inflatable obstacle course
Yep.
alongside her friends, but something terrible happened instead. But amid the laughter and excitement, something went
ridiculous.
terribly wrong. At some point during the afternoon, Kira went under the water in a designated swimming area.
I think my favorite thing about that was the bucket, like in the little kid zone, but still fuck it, like they filled that incredibly huge bucket, and like every 5 minutes it would drop and like whatever, like get everyone wet. That's like my favorite thing.
Despite the lifeguards and other swimmers being present, no one seemed to notice immediately that she was in danger. Panic ensued when it became
Because I did that. Fuck. I'm trying to remember. It's so fucking long ago. It's like 3 lifetimes ago for me. Because I used to be incredibly scared of like water slides, like the big ones. Yeah, in this, some kid died doing that. The vent caught his leg and he died. I've always hated those like pool filter things with the little flappy thing. Like I've always been fucking horrified of those. I'm trying to think like what whenever we went there, I just remember spending a lot of time under that bucket in the lazy river and in the wave pool. Because we also rode that, what was it called? Like black hole thing. But I never went on any of those like incredibly huge water slides. That's like all of my memory of it. Get there and yeah, don't do that. Yeah. There's a funny It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia of them going to the water park. I don't know if you watch it. Highly recommended. I think it's my favorite episode when they go to the water park. Yeah.
became clear that Kira was missing, and an urgent search
Yeah.
began. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic. Lifeguards were reportedly
They go to that
scrambling,
big
some
water
even asking
slide
for
and there's like
goggles
no
from park
water, and
visitors to aid in
Charlie
their
just
search.
has
The
a
park
bottle of
seemed
water and
unprepared for
pours
such
it
an
down on
emergency,
there, and then
with
Danny
lifeguards
DeVito
searching the
slides
wrong
down.
areas and lacking coordination.
And like his back, you just see blood coming off the slide. Yeah. And like they were telling everyone to get into the front of the line that he had AIDS or whatever. It's like AIDS water. That shit, that is like the best episode. I love that episode. Yeah.
Nation. Approximately 40 people, including staff and guests, dove into the water to try to find Kira, but the search efforts were described as slow and disorganized. The situation became increasingly desperate as the minutes passed without finding her. Emergency services were finally called at 3:55 p.m., but Kira wasn't located until just after 5:10 p.m., over an hour after she had gone missing. She was pulled from the water and rushed to Wexham Park Hospital, but it was too late. Kira was pronounced dead. Her official cause of death was determined to be drowning. In the aftermath,
Usually
Kyra's
is.
father, Leonard Hill, voiced his heartbreak and anger over the way the situation had been handled. He believed that more could have been done to save his daughter, and that the lack of urgency among park staff had directly contributed to her death. This was neglect, he said, a lack of awareness, not paying attention, almost a carefree attitude shown towards her. I would say she was left to drown. According to Leonard Hill, Kyra wasn't even on the inflatables at the time of the incident. She had been
initial
swimming
load
in a
is so long.
designated shallow water area that did not require a life jacket. He was convinced that if staff had acted with more urgency, Kira could have been saved. She had a chance, he said, but lack of urgency, lack of interest, lack of action is the reason why my daughter is no longer here
I don't
today.
control him.
Liquid Leisure was fined £80,000 for failing to ensure the safety of a member of the public, with additional costs of £30,000 and a victim surcharge of £2,000. The company expressed its sorrow over the
I'm
incident,
actually very
stating they were
impressed that Action
heartbroken
Park isn't
and
on
working
this.
closely with authorities in the ongoing investigation.
Yeah,
However,
yeah, pretty much.
Leonard Hill was not satisfied, believing that his daughter's death could have been prevented
like fun.
if the park had been better prepared and its staff more attentive. Kira was less than 2 weeks away from celebrating her 12th birthday when the tragic accident occurred.
Action Park, man, I would totally go to Action Park. That shit is so funny. I never saw the movie. I think Steve-O, or no, it was somebody else. They did a movie like mimicking that Action Park. I never saw it though. I don't have any room on it. It's just the first initial load. It usually doesn't even take this long though. It's weird.
In
I
this
don't know.
video, we're telling 5 true stories that changed the way we look at water parks forever.
Because I can either have this or Overwatch on my solid state. And like Overwatch is unplayable if it's not on there. Oh yeah, so yeah, it's so good. It's ridiculous. It's probably my favorite movie of the year. Why is this? This usually does not take this long. Yeah, with the metal to go there, I'm be completely honest. Like that shit ramped up to 10 immediately. Cause I had called, I'm like, okay, the clone's gonna take it. Like I kind of knew that from the beginning, but I thought like they would take it and get more and more degenerate instead of hopping to like phase 9 of whatever. I haven't seen Doom Patrol. I need to finish out that fuck, what is it? The one with the number, the kids that came out. Fuck. The weird Umbrella Academy? Is that what it was? Jesus Christ, this is taking so long. Yeah, it's so good though. I think I watched like the first episode of it. Finally. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get one for Christmas. Yeah, coming from my other computer, which had like 16 gigs of hybrid drives that were basically as fast as solid state but had a lot of room. Going to this, because this is Caladrius' old computer. Yeah, see, I needed a shitload because I was doing the YouTube stuff, and rendering like 1080p video takes up so much space. I'm not like running anything else, am I? No? Yeah. Well, of course he did. He's a teenager, right? Yeah, and just being like young too. Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's a wild card. Dude, what the fuck? Go. Just go. Like, I was literally playing this like an hour ago. They did, I think, yeah. Campaign, unravel the mysteries through solo or co-op play. No couch co-op though, which everyone's pissed about. Yeah, I went back through it for the first time since it launched, and yeah, I don't. My like number one thing I hated was that there wasn't like any kind of different biomes like there usually is in Halo. Like, it's all just the northeast, and then you have the banished stuff, and then you have the Forerunner things, and that's it. You don't have like sand or snow or swamps or stuff like the other games have. That's my big thing. Oh yeah. Oh wait, actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I can't do co-op on this because it's hacked. Unless you wanted to do multiplayer. I was fucking around in Forge. It's wild. Forge is insane. Like the shit people have done. I actually want to check some of these out. So I was messing around trying to build like Zelda areas in Forge. And people have made like campaigns and stuff. It's ridiculous. The Phylacter Myth. What is this? The fact that like you can script AI and stuff now in Forge, just it's wild. It is insane. The one thing that like really fucking bothers me is Halo 5 is the only Halo game I can't play on PC. and people hate it, and I thought it was whatever, but I still want to play it. Like, it's so frustrating. It's like that OCD itch where, I don't know. I've not tried out any of these. I've been fucking around in Forge myself, but I haven't. No, that's a lie. I played, somebody remade the first level of Halo 3. It could have been better. They could have done more with it, but for what it was really cool. Yeah, that was a long time ago. They actually have 2 premium battle passes they give that they gave everyone for free. Because for Halo 2's 20th anniversary, which is, I don't even like to think about that, they did a playlist for that, and then they have a winter playlist that I'm kind of working my way through in multiplayer. I'm actually not like the worst. What is this? Dude, what the fuck? Why is it so crazy? Okay. Maybe I should have played this in custom game. I don't know. No. Graph failed to build. You know what? I probably should have made this a custom game. This is just like testing it. Okay. I can't. Here, can't they? Forge, Cavern Infection. How the fuck did I play? Great match. Okay. That's what I want. Here we go. Play. This should work. They have Firefight on here too. I'd like to do that, just fighting waves of enemies, co-op style. Come on. It's like going back to the olden days in EverQuest where I had like 256 megs of RAM. Never every time you zoned, it literally took 5 minutes. And then I remember dying on fucking the Kelethan town. Like walking off those tree things. Have to wait. It's like extra incentive not to die. Okay. Wait, what is this? What? I'm so confused. How the fuck do you play this? Just spawn me like below the map. They gave me XP for that? Custom game. Mode editor. That sounds good. I didn't really eat yesterday. Create. How the fuck? I am so confused how the fuck I play that. I just played one of these like yesterday. Phylacter can't. Fine, I'm gonna freaking figure this out. Phylacter. Phylacter campaign. How to play. I don't know. Come on, internet. Just bringing up Phylacrates from D&D, god damn it. Map. Popular. Keywords campaign. Yeah, I played this. Sierra 117's Halo 3 level. I don't know. I wouldn't get into D&D. I'd go into Pathfinder, but I think D&D came out with a new like update to their rules or something. I've been out of the loop for a very long time. But I wouldn't play D&D, I'd play Pathfinder. Yeah. It's like an update. It's not supposed to invalidate your 5th edition book, but I should probably get it at some point, even though I will never play it, just for the collection. Yeah. How do, like, 714 modes? Campaign Extreme. Wait, is it this? It's gotta be this. Yeah, Forge is amazing. Like, I don't know why they don't just... Well, I guess they kind of technically have just released this as its own thing. Because anyone with multiplayer can do it. I really haven't either until I started back on this. Because, like, I want to make, like, a Hyrule Castle town or something in Forge. And yeah, it's totally doable. Like, you can make RPGs and all kinds of shit. Since they have scripting now and AI. I don't. I've never played a single Mario and Luigi game. I heard it wasn't good, but I don't know. I haven't played it. Yeah, I 100%ed that, like, immediately. It was good. It was amazing. I'm sad that I rushed through it so fast. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get the thing. Yeah, exactly. See, Halo as well. This guy, Halo, right here, that I'm playing. Because, I mean, you have, like, Metroid, Halo, and... in them. So, that's fun. Hey, look at this shit. This is, like, completely custom made. It's ridiculous. The fact that they just added AI scripting is, it's insane. Like, you can do anything that you want now. Looks like trash. I mean, yeah. You could definitely make it look better, but for what it is, it's wow. Yeah. You could definitely make it look ridiculous. I've seen like cyberpunk stuff that is just jaw-dropping. It just depends on the person making it. Because there's basically no limit. I mean, there is a limit, but it's so ridiculously high. It just boots you out? You don't get to respawn or anything? Really? I'll mess with it later. Let's play big team battle and get my ass beat. Actually, I thought I would be much worse than I am. But I'm surprisingly, like, not awful all the time. 4 minutes? What the fuck? There's no way. don't even know what you get in here. Not a fan of that armor type. Alright, take it easy. Kukri machete. Let's see if we got anything else to watch. Oh shit. Let me check this out. This is pertinent to me.
Hello everyone, this is Bryant with SFOTsource.com, your premier guide to Six Flags Over Texas. We're back. I know it's been a long time. Park's been mostly closed to the public since Fright Fest ended. So we decided to take a little break as well. I know the park didn't take a break. They've been open for private events, but from a public-facing standpoint. So we're here to check out Holiday in the Park, which takes place now through the end of December. You've got all kinds of new shows. You've got the specialty food. You've got the Christmas lights. Very excited to check this event out this year. I think that, you know, not that Holiday in the Park was necessarily bad last year. It just wasn't... Holiday in the Park kind of just hasn't been what it used to be, if that makes sense. So I think they're really making a huge effort to kind of make strides forward and get Holiday in the Park back up to a really awesome, cool level. So we're excited to check it out. We do have a Holiday in the Park guide. The link is in the description below. So all of the things that we check out tonight, plus some, you'll be able to find the info there. So we're going to stop talking and we're going to head into the park. Made our way into the park, and they still have a stage out here kind of in the center of the mall plaza. Of course, you have your gigantic Christmas tree that they will light up at 6 p.m. so we'll be back up here for that.
Sweet.
And then there is entertainment also happening on Silver Star Carousel stage back there. So we'll take a more in-depth look at the decorations once nighttime falls, but we've got to head over this way. There's a brand new stage with a new show.
His eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks are like roses. His nose like a cherry.
Dottie, be careful. It says aside, not inside. Ugh, gross. Well done. And giving a nod up the chimney he rose. Again? Yeah. He sprang to his sleigh. To his team gave a whistle.
I'm not
So right
the
here,
last
just
person to
across
load.
from the main entrance to Bugs Bunny Boomtown, you've got this stage where we just watched 'Twas a Merry Mishap, kind of like a fun comical take on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. They also do the Polar Party here, which is like an interactive family-friendly thing. And the backdrop of this is this really awesome Holiday in the Park mural. They did one for Fright Fest. Now
Come
we've
on,
got
people,
one
what the
for
fuck?
Holiday in
Other
the Park.
players
These
loading?
these are really cool.
Kill me now. I don't know what I'm watching. What the fuck, people? Get fucking load. Come on. What the hell?
Back backtracked back up to the front to get a guide map just to see what the food was. You can see the QR code there.
s'more
I hope that
martini? What
QR
the
code becomes active at some point, but during our visit today, no such luck. But we can see some of the food offerings here. The bread bowls are back. You've got some cheesecake fries. You've got the s'mores funnel cake. A lot of the same stuff.
Actually
The
looks pretty
tamale
good.
plate. The Christmas turkey
What
sandwich.
is
We might
happening?
try
Why are
some
they
of this.
still
I
loading?
think we're,
I don't
We're gonna have
understand.
to go on a hunt to find some of these
confused.
for sure. Made our way over to the Spain section because we're not going to ignore the big elephant in the room about the ride removals and the proposed record-breaking dive coaster. But before we head in there, I just wanted to point out we got some Spain flags here on the Spain arch. I don't think I saw that the last time I was here, so probably new. But
Nifty.
just a nice little theming touch, real simple but nice. So a lot of the big changes I think you're going to see more at Hurricane Harbor. My goodness, but they did put up a banner talking about their expansion. You've got Splash Island, which we posted a story about on our website. You can see all of the brand new slides coming, and they said they're going to do enhanced amenities and enhanced dining options. But over here in the dry park, Six Flags Over Texas, you do have these two rides coming down back here: La Vibora, which is the bobsled, and you also have El Diablo, the big Larson Looper, coming down. They've already put the construction fences up, but no noticeable changes beyond that. Closer look at La Vibora. You can see they have taken the signage off of the Q House. You've got this fence that stretches all the way around. Of course, Conquistador is still open, and the teacups are still open, so there's still stuff to do over here. And the train is running. I don't know if you heard it in the background. So
nope.
I don't think they're going to just come in here and demolish this tomorrow, because there's a lot of things in play.
Yeah,
to,
I think they like
get
shut
that to
down La
happen, but
Vibora. They're selling
definitely
it
have
off, which
started,
is
to
sad.
say the least. I'm sure they've done a lot of things we can't see. We have ventured into the Texas section here at Crazy Horse Saloon. This is where you can find Mrs. Claus' kitchen. You can see, you can do some cookie decorating over here. You can also do some brownies. So you can buy a kit and decorate those in there. I'm sure it's nice and warm in there too, which helps. And I just wanted to point out they also have story time with Mrs. Claus in here. You can catch some stories with Mrs. Claus, and these are all of the times right here. So I think we are going to head over here to Courthouse Stage because there's another brand new show over here called the Mistletones. They have also moved photos with Santa Claus back into the Crazy Horse Saloon. So feel free to pause the video so you can see what the pricing is if you want to do one of these packages. You can see that if you do have a pass, it is a little bit
$30 for a picture with Santa?
But,
What the
always
fuck?
fun to see Santa Claus and take pictures.
God damn it.
There must have been some magic in that old Tim Hadley found. For when they placed it on his back, he began to dance around. Beyonce, Frosty, Snowman, was alive as he could be. Many nights like this one, if we're lucky, knock on wood. Sure it's cold when we've hot chocolates and a fire burning away. Hey, what is Santa Claus gonna say when he finds everybody singing?
Tell me now, I hate Christmas.
Also here in the Texas section you have Dino Off-Road Adventure, which during Holiday in the Park has a fun Christmas overlay. I guess dinosaurs also celebrate the holidays, especially this guy. He's got a bow and a hat.
Of course they do.
He's just got a bow. He doesn't have a hat. He might not be able to wear the hat because of his aerodynamics. He might not help him fly very much. Really not as intimidating once you throw a little Santa elf hat on him.
Yeah, they hate it.
Right? It's kind of friendly now. Bet you've never seen a dinosaur dressed as an angel sticking its butt up in the air, have ya? No, you
Is
haven't.
that supposed to be the
There's
Dilophosaurus?
also a holiday overlay
that never
here
existed?
at Pirates of Spelunker Cave, the dark ride. Got some decorations here
At
on
least with the
dock.
flaps, the neck flaps.
And of course, I'm sure the Spelunkers inside are festive as well. I think we're going to utilize one of our skip the lines. Check out the Spelunkers today. Oh, here we go. We've already got some garland. Oh, that is a very festive skeleton with his Santa hat on.
Maybe it is Santa.
Just makes you all warm and fuzzy on the inside, seeing all the dead skeletons. I love it though. I love this kind of stuff.
As opposed to the alive skeleton.
Man, even the Kraken during this like big hurricane got the Santa hat on. Hello, Kraken. Hello. Oh yes, the Santa hat. Very, very festive. Oh, I can't wait to see what. Whoa! I can't wait to see what the mermaids are doing. That's more like an elf mermaid. And then that's more like Santa mermaids over on this side.
Santa gets around.
Oh, is this goblin? Oh, the goblin's like, I gotta decorate this treasure chest.
God damn. Can I just play something, please?
You know, with the price of Christmas decorations, I could see why it would be part of the loot and the gold. Christmas dragon.
Dude, what the fuck? Why is this taking so goddamn long?
We're heading into
I'm
spooky
so
territory.
confused.
I think this is where we'll see some
Like, it
Spelunkers
doesn't
in
take
their
this long.
holiday best.
Why do I have like 6 monitors? What the fuck? What is happening
Now, before we head into the, well, I should say as you're heading to the tower section, we're not going to go there quite yet, but here, where you had a haunted house during Fright Fest, you now have North Pole Postmaster. So, if you want to write a letter to Santa, you head in this way, write a letter, and then of course you can go to the Crazy Horse Saloon and meet Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus. Come into this North Pole letter area, and it's like a maze. Oh, Santa's workshop. Very good. There's a lot of really fun little details in here for sure. Actually really enjoy this. Ooh, not spooky. Oh, here we go. We're coming in. Bunch of Christmas trees and stuff. It looks like we're getting closer. I don't know if you can see them. It's pretty dark, but then once you get to the other side, you've got tables where you can write letters to Santa. You just drop them in the mailbox there. They take them to the North Pole. Big old Christmas tree, all kinds of seats over there. What a fun idea. This is really cool. Here down this thoroughfare, you have Southern Palace, which the all-new Frost show takes place at. And this is
It already
like
does
a very
look a lot
Cirque-heavy
better.
show set
That's
in
good.
a Christmas setting. A little bit unconventional,
A lot.
but let's
What's up?
go in and check it out.
I haven't been to Six Flags in like forever. It's been like 2 years. I guess they got bought out by shit, I forgot who. But it seems like they're making it better, I guess. Waiting for this shit to load. I don't know why it's loading so fucking slow now. It seems way too cold out now to be wearing that.
we
That's
wind
funny.
back up to front gate.
Come
for some
on,
more
game.
shows. Just wanted to point out that Merry Marketplace has moved, so looks like it's probably down more in the Boomtown section. So we will head over there here next after we go
I
back
just
to
wanna
front
play it.
gate. And up here at the Silver Star Carousel stage, the next show that we're going to check out is the all-new Holly Jolly Trolley. Really looking forward to this. This should be more of like your classic type of Christmas holiday show.
Finally, god damn.
I've got to go. This evening has been so very nice. My mother will start to worry. My father will be
Isn't that song like really fucked up? I know people were like complaining about it. It's not modern sensibilities or whatever. So dumb.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents.
Finally, god damn, it feels like I've waited 2 hours to get into a game. It's gonna be all juddery. I really should move. I need to move this over to my solid state though. I play it more than Overwatch now.
As we creep our way over to the all-new Merry Marketplace area, this is the drive-in theater that they have set up, and they're actually using
It's like
old
super
Chaparral cars, which
stuttery.
is a fun idea.
Although Big
So
Team Battle
we'll come out
usually
here in
is.
front of Pandemonium and watch some classic movies. Looks like we've got some kind of Rudolph thing. Oh, there's Frosty. I don't know. And as you cross into the threshold of Boomtown, got some new fun decor going over the top, but this is your
fuck?
brand new Merry Marketplace
My
area.
teammate killed me.
Should be vendors and food and all kinds of stuff. We'll head down and
Can they like
give it a
not
look.
do that?
So yeah, they've got all kinds of stuff. This booth over here has all kinds of funnel cake fries. They've got the Nutella cheesecake fries, s'mores funnel cake fries.
Not a fan of Nutella.
There's a stage over here where the Yule logs play. We might have to check that out. They've also decked out all of the bar up here in garland and
asshole.
lights. Got some more booths down this way as well that we need to check out. Trying to stay out of folks' ways who are trying to spend money and shop, but on the very end you've got a jewelry vendor.
So far away.
And there's no menu at this booth, but it looked like they had the soup in a bread bowl, all kinds of different things. And then of course they do have some Holiday in the Park merch. Looks like there's one booth that still has to get set up, but it's nice having this over here. I think they
No,
just
kill him,
probably
kill
wanted
him,
it
kill
in a
him.
more high
Make him
traffic
explode
area.
himself.
And this is a good spot because
What?
it's very festival-y.
I was
and
like right in his
you've got
face.
the
Why
big
didn't he kill
center
himself too
point
from the
there, just
explosion?
blasting the ever-loving you-know-what out of this music. But here at Macho Nacho, we've got some holiday treats. They've got some churros, and they also have tamales here. So if you're a tamale fan, come check it out.
I
It's
do
a
like
meal
tamales.
for $16.99. You are not going to believe this, but we tried to get the tamales, which are marked as a meal on the dining plan, and they told me it's not a meal on the dining plan. So this is not the first time that something has been marked as a
Shit.
dining plan offering.
Across the map.
And then not actually been a dining plan offering. The food booths never have a solution when they are incorrectly presenting something. There's never a solution. There's never a way to fix it. I've decided,
Let's go. Oh,
time
fuck.
is of the essence.
My game.
I am not going to wait in various lines to be told that what is being advertised is not true. So
No,
we're
no,
gonna skip.
go.
We're
Okay,
gonna pass
come on.
on trying any of the Holiday in the Park food. I just I'm not gonna wait.
We're going to
another
beat.
Food
We're
line
going
and
to
then be
beat.
Told,
Kill 'em.
Oh,
Kill
yeah,
'em all.
that's
God
the
damn
way
it.
that's advertised.
Well, we killed
That's
somebody.
not true. So, you know, I would love to know in the comments below what your experience with the food is. It smelled really good. Some of the food looks really good too. I just don't want to play that game anymore, and I'm not going to. So
The food
we'll
is
move on,
horrendously
check out some more
overpriced.
entertainment, and then as the sun sets, we will check out some of the Christmas lights. There are lots of fire pits
out.
set up. I've
Get
been
out, motherfucker.
seeing them all
Kill
throughout
him,
the
kill
park.
him, kill him,
Unfortunately,
kill him
they're
with his
not
own ghost.
operating today. None of them. But we are pushing the low 50s, going into the high 40s, and this is definitely something I would take advantage of right now. Would be really nice.
No, he's behind
I
us.
see you hiding.
He's
over
invisible.
here. Penguins. What are you doing? Up to no good. Ventured down into the Gotham City section of the park, and I don't really think there's any
Really?
big holiday in the park stuff to note back here, but they are quietly working on all kinds of projects. So here at Johnny Rockets, they've actually put up new shade structures for the outdoor seating. So no more of the individual umbrellas, and these do span down this way as well. We made our way back over to the Texas section as we're heading to the front for the tree lighting ceremony, and got all the fake snow, but we also have the Krampus in Paradise Haunted House, which opens at 5 p.m. every day, and you can
Kill
see
him,
that
kill him,
back
kill
there.
him.
They've
God
taken
damn it.
the Polynesian palm and turned it into a Christmas haunt once again. So if you want some Christmas fright, make sure you come check this out. And I know I'm one of the people that's been really critical of the lack of Christmas lights here in recent years, but I'll just let y'all be the judge of that situation. You can tell me if you think this is a good amount of Christmas
Somebody
lights. Somebody
rage quit. That's so funny.
And as we head back towards the front, going through the Mexico section, there's a little bit of a splatter of Christmas lights through
Got
here
'em.
on the trees, and a little bit on the trees in the Spain section. I love the color palettes. There's just not a lot, and I'm sure they're working on it. But used to just kind of be a spectacle out here. Now it's not really.
It's a lot. I think it's a lot better than it was, to be completely fair. Not a high bar to cross, but no! Come on! Why didn't he grab it? I for sure thought he would grab it. Why are there like incredibly large patches of that not working? God damn it. Yeah, we're not doing very well. At all. Look at all those theater students that couldn't make it. I mean, whatever. Who cares? Big fish in a small pond, I suppose. Yeah, the
All
sniper
right, y'all,
rifle.
we've pretty much seen all the entertainment and done the activities that we're gonna do. So I think we're gonna spend the last part of our day actually looking around at the Christmas decorations
Stop.
that they have up. Show
Stop.
you some of that.
God,
And
why is everything so
we'll end
laggy?
it there.
I need to restart my computer. It's ridiculous. It's like almost uncomputerable. Unplayable. Come on. Okay. Maybe it's because I had YouTube open. It already seems to be running much smoother. Is Chrome that much of a hog of resources?
Too little, too late, Spartan.
Yeah, it's fine.
Match lost.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Okay. It's so dark. I'm okay with that. I don't care. Did I even do anything last match? I captured once. I'll take it. Even if it was only 30 seconds. They've added so much. It's ridiculous. I don't think I've played on that map. Ooh. Did not know I had that. When does this reset? These seem to be like the exact same things for the past few days. I thought they would rotate them out daily. I am super tempted to get that. That is a really, really good looking blue. Are those supposed to be like the elites, but not really? They just gave it a helmet that looked like an elite. That's funny. I suppose it's better than nothing, because I know everyone has been wanting elites. And they just aren't gonna do it. Dormant grenades can be shot with precision weapons? Really? Didn't know that. Okay. So are these like curated Forge maps that they've actually put into regular rotation? If so, that's really fucking cool. Alright, let's do it. I'll go for A. Only that person is too. Not my best move. Okay, good. My kill. Damn. We gotta get B. No, A is falling. I think I killed myself. No, I didn't. It didn't help though. Oh, good. That's not good. That is unfortunate. God damn it. don't think we're gonna get it. Such high hopes. Stop shooting me. I don't even know where the fuck he was. Where did he go? Come on, get it. Get it, B. Get it, B. You can do it. Hey! Wait, why didn't we get it? We control him. Do we not? Come on. Get it. Grenade him. Got this shit on lockdown. Come on. God damn it. Fuck. Like one more second. Come on. One more. Let's let him get it. There it is. I know this isn't very good. You move so slow, but you know, it's powerful. Where are they? Who was shooting me? I don't understand. They were in the building, but I couldn't see them. these people just like randomly appearing out of nowhere. I fell down going one way, and then I did as well, and then he disappeared, and then he was behind me. Like, I guess he hid, but I'm pretty sure I looked over there. That's not well enough. They're actually loot. God damn, they nearly lost. Or they did lose everything. Holy shit. Okay. 2. Got him. Fuck. Okay. I'll take it. Why not? I don't even know if it did anything worthwhile. Top 50% of the team, I guess it's as well as I could do. Let's do a quick plan. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go eat something. I'll be back in a little while.